Well, greetings, brother battle brothers. It's me, Aurelia Tempris, defender of the Golden Throne and servant to the Emperor of Mankind. Hi, everyone. No hat today, unfortunately. It's not a commissar stream, but we're finally, I know a lot of you have been asking, we are finally going to talk about, we're going to talk about Warhammer Fantasy, and I know nothing. Like, I legitimately know nothing. Maybe like one thing. Maybe one thing. Yeah, I know nothing. But we're gonna have fun because I will be enlightened today. I found this really long video. I think it's like the same size of the same size video as Bricky made, but it's for Total War stuff. It's like beginner's lore overview guide to races. So I figured that'd be a good place to start. Yeah, I know a lot of you are like, Warhammer Fantasy, it's time, I must know all the things. Well, you want me to know all the things. I'm sure all of you do. Even one of my mods is incredibly excited. Yes, I have been people have been asking enough, and I said, let's give the people what they want. I've seen some of the trailers. I haven't seen all of them. Also, I don't know like the difference between Age of Sigmar. I know it's a different game, and then Warhammer Fantasy, and I don't know how they connect. I don't think this video will explain it. But that's why we're here. We're here to learn. We're here to learn, chat. Maybe I should put on some glasses. Maybe I should put on some glasses. But it's time to learn. As I have my straw for my Mountain Dew in my hand, and I just like hit it against my hand, like the stereotypical teacher with a ruler. Don't worry, I have lore masters in the chat. Okay, well don't put too many like paragraphs in here, because odds of me getting to read all of them very low. It's very low, chat, so I'm gonna say in advance, if you put in paragraphs, I probably won't get a chance to read them. But I think this will be a good stream, because I think with the Bricky video, it was about this length, maybe a little bit longer, and I talked for a long time. So I think this one will be really similar. And if not, I have one other video, but I have no idea. I have no idea. Oh, Steven, by the way, I saw your super chat at the beginning. You've been waiting for this a long while. I'm excited. I'm glad you're excited. And thank you for the super thanks. That's like a thing that YouTube does. They do, it's like super thanks when your streamer isn't live. It's like a super chat, but it shows up in the comments section of like a video or a post. So yeah, thank you for that too. I saw that. Age of Sigmar is a sequel to Fantasy after the End Times. Oh, there's End Times here. I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. Original fantasy world was destroyed by chaos. Age of Sigmar is the world that was remade by the surviving fantasy gods. Oh, okay. Well, I think I'll like fantasy because I was originally a fantasy girl, chat. I'm not saying I'm not now, but like if you found young teenage or tween Aurelia, I read lots of fantasy books. My first, I think, purest form of like fantasy was Aragon by Christopher Paolini. I read other things too, but I think that was like the first like big one. I read other ones. I think around that time I read a lot of books. I read a lot of books, chat. I don't think I've made it a secret that I'm a nerd and I like to read as much as like as possible. And it's sad when you become an adult because you don't get to read as much. And like when you're going through schooling. So D&D proves your fantasy. I mean, yeah, I am a huge I'm a huge fan of fantasy, and Aragon and a couple other book series. I have to like go back and really think about it. kind of got me into the fantasy side of things. And then I just kind of jumped into Warhammer, and now we're back here. Yay! Do they have novels for Warhammer Fantasy? I'll read them. I'll read them, chat. Maybe I'll have 2 book clubs going on. I'll read Warhammer Fantasy and the Warhammer 40k. And then we'll have 2 book clubs. We'll do one in the middle of the month and one at the end of the month. You have no idea who you're dealing with. I read like a fiend. I saw a super chat. Let me send a super chat. At the risk of heresy, I prefer the pulp adventure tone feel that Age of Sigmar has compared to fantasy battles pseudo Tolkien plot. There's words. There's like stalemates and stuff. Okay. Well, you know what? We'll read them. I'll read a couple. Sounds like a lot of books to buy in my wallet is thin. You don't have to participate. I could just talk about books. And that's the point. That's what I like to do, chat. I like to do the book clubs because we had one yesterday. And if you want to join our book club next time, we're going to read Soul Hunter by Aaron Dembski Bowden. Yes. It's about the Night Lords. And I finished it today. For context, I started it like a week ago, and I really liked it. So it's not like I finished it in one day. That's insanity. But I really enjoyed it. So I will be. So what I'll do at the end of the month is I do like a giant summary, kind of like a very limited, like very like 1,000-foot view of what the book is about. And then sometimes if there's like certain points I talk about the like the little details of like little things that I liked. Yeah. So we'll do that. We'll probably check out a fantasy novel because I don't think I could bring myself to splitting and going back and forth between fantasy and then Warhammer. So if people are like, oh, I want Warhammer fantasy books and they'd rather be there for those and read those, but listen to my other streams, I think they work well as like something you could play in the background. Like, hey, I haven't read this book, but I'd like to generally know what it's about. So let's see. Have you heard about our favorite thick boys, the Maw tribes yet? No. Are they caked up? Are they caked up? Or do they have those thunder's thighs? Thank you, Johan Vaughn, for the super chat. And Stephen, thank you again for the super chat. You are really looking forward to this stream. I can tell. The old world continent is the prequel to the events of the fantasy setting. Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to this. So we're starting here, and then, you know, I did say we were going to talk a little Age of Sigmar. So I apologize if in my ignorance I was like I thought the two were the same or similar. We'll watch at least one Age of Sigmar video, so then it's not a complete lie. So it's not a complete lie. The Aurelia custodian character probably only reads Age of Sigmar novels since 40k is my reality. It is kind of my reality, but I like a lot of 30k books, so... I also saw some funny comments. I think it was before stream started, so if you're on the YouTube side, you can see my thumbnail. If not, I have a Twitter, which I posted it. And I said, fantasy sanguinius? to Sigvald, and so I was like, isn't he more like Fulgrim? I'm like, yes, I know, that's the point, that's why I made the joke. I know a little bit about him, but not enough to like be well versed in it. So, but I made the joke because I was like, yeah, he's not like Sanguinius, he's more like Fulgrim. I was proud of myself. I'm gonna open my Mountain Dew and then we'll start, chat. We'll start. I could probably yap for ages, but I know you want to see my reactions. I know a lot of people have been interested in this, so I don't want to. The suspense might be killing you. I'm not sure. I hope not. 1 second. Oh no. Yes, I also saw Sigvald's model where he's yes, I saw that. I didn't want to, but I saw it. It was so dumb. Whoop whoop. All right. Oh, I needed that. I didn't know I needed a good Mountain Dew till just now. Okay. All right. Okay, chat, we're gonna do it. So I'm just gonna kind of stop wherever I feel like it. And I'll just comment. Since I don't know anything, this is not gonna be like the Bricky stream. So I don't know anything, unlike the Bricky stream. The Bricky stream, I knew some stuff. This is purely going to be like just straight up pure reaction. So, and thank you, Dr. Mentharos. It's very kind of you. Yeah, if you could like the stream, that would be awesome. I definitely want to reach more of the Emperor's servants. My favorite thing is my my Twitch alert. So if you're on the Twitch side, I say this is an Imperium mandated stream. You have to attend. All right, let me. Good, we can see that. It'll be so good, and then we're gonna learn, and I like to learn. You'll just have to be patient with me, but you know, once I get my hands on a little bit of lore, I'm all over it. I am all over it. Okay. Let's do it. So, oh, yes, by the way, follow the Book of Choyer. That's where I got this YouTube video from. I have the link to the YouTube video in my YouTube description. Follow them, like their stuff. This is from 2 years ago, chat, so if you're starting to say, oh my gosh, it's outdated, it's from 2 years ago. It probably is to some extent, so. In any case, it's just general introduction stuff anyways. Alrighty. Oh, it starts right away. Hang on. I'm trying to get the volume right. One more click up. There you go.
The time for the ultimate campaign is now. All factions march to war.
It's chaos.
Uncountable banners dance against the sky.
I said that. I was like, oh, it's chaos. But I was commenting that the battle itself was chaos, not there was chaos in the opening shot. Yeah.
Skies, and the earth itself trembles in anticipation of the battles to come.
There's so much to look at.
From around the world reveal outcomes of ruin. The visions of the future paint a terrible fate for the world. Legendary lords will fall, but many others will rise in their wake.
Oh, they've got cool. Sorry, they've got cool Patreon supporter names. Venerable champions. Maybe I should do that.
In this
Stuff like
episode,
that.
we will explore the history and motivations of all the races that are now involved in a conflict without precedent. The Immortal Empire's campaign takes place over the entire Warhammer world. Countless civilizations will fall.
That looks like Tiamat.
And the skies will burn.
Or a Hydra dragon.
The stake has never been higher, as the fate of the world itself and the future of...
I said this earlier, and I was talking to one of my mods about this. I like this armor with the bird motif, the feather motifs. I'll probably comment on it again.
Of each faction are to be decided on.
Oh no, that was sick. Okay, hang on.
Of each
that was cool.
Are to be decided.
Look at that. Oh, that's so cool. Look at that. Is so neat. It's like a giant mummified skeleton with an awesome. That's an awesome bow. Oh my gosh, where are his arrows? The magic arrows? What do you mean No, the mod told me that it was elf armor. I didn't know that. Magic arrows. Yes, Onyx, thank you for the super chat. Don't do that, Onyx. You're one of my mods. I haven't said that to my other mods yet. Yes, I saw. It's game footage from Total War. That's what it is. Beginner's Lore Overview Guide to the Races in Total War Warhammer Trilogy. So all of the stuff in the background is gonna be from Total War. Thanks for the super chat, Onyx.
On the battlefield. Which faction will you take to war?
I don't know yet. Ooh. Are these the good guys? Oh, chat, are there good guys? I know Warhammer, like 40k is like, and 30k is like, oh, there's no good guys, but are there good guys in Warhammer Fantasy? Like, does everyone suck, or are there some goodies in there? It's more like Lord of the Rings where there's good and bad. It's a mix. They have order and chaos. Of course, Sigmar is good. Okay, fair enough. I just don't know. Good enough? Good is good enough. Yeah, that's fine. It's really easy to tell in 40k when people are. Everyone kind of sucks to some extent. Okay, cool. I wanted to know, because if we're gonna hate heretics, we gotta do it properly. I don't think there's heretics in this one, but no one is 100% perfect. Yes, and see, that's why I was like good and like good-ish. Like, you can't. No one's perfect, so perfect. Okay, cool. Thank you.
For thousands of years has the race of man been involved in a constant fight for its own right to survive.
Oh yeah, sounds like
the brave men and women of the Empire have faced horrors untold. Enemies coming from everywhere, and tribulations that have taken them to their limits. Yet humanity have always...
I was about to say, do they have the indomitable human spirit? Like they have, like just kind of the general theme about humanity. Like one of my favorite things, I watched it was a sci-fi video, and it was talking about how it was from an alien perspective, and it was talking about how the humans in this world, like, are terrifying, because in their media that they relax to, one of the things is like, what are the humans' greatest enemies? It's themselves. All of their media is of them. My model, what are you doing, honey? There we go. My model was like keeping my mouth open. That in like media, it's like there's always like fights against other humans, and they were basically saying the humans just would not die because they were just so used to killing each other that when it came to killing other alien races, they were really, really good at it. I have to find the video. I'll have to link it. I really like the story. So I just didn't know if it's the same kind of standard thing with humans. So.
Always stood firm against the ever-growing, raging fire that seeks to consume it.
Now we unite!
Now it seems that they are cornered once again, facing enemies from all sides, with the number of armies marching against them higher than ever before. It seems like extinction has come. The heart of every citizen of the Empire burns with an inner fire,
nice.
a flame that slowly burns with a creeping fear that the end has come once and for all. But there's also the burning fire of faith, a burning flame that keeps hope for humanity alive.
There we go. There you go. There it is. That faith. That faith. Was it the one where someone is trying to hire an assassin to go after a human? No, I'll find it. I'll post it in the Discord. You should join the Discord server. We have a lot of fun there. Post your minis. We post lore there, memes about me. People like to make fun of me on occasion, but it's all in good fun. I'll find the video and I'll post it. I'll post it there.
A light against the darkness. And there's certainly hope for the Empire, as the most recently elected Emperor shows great promise.
He's elected. He's elected. Is that like elected by a council, elected by the people, elected by governors? Or is he just born into it? I must know, chat. I must know. This is where I ask you all the questions. Elected by high nobles. See, cool. My first thought was like it was like a council or like a ruling class. So it's is it like a? So, what? Why are we clipping that? What did I say? I didn't actually think he got like elected by the people. That's not how that works. But I'm asking. Wow, I'm being. You said ask questions, Aurelia. It's okay, Aurelia. We won't judge you. It's fine. We'll answer your questions. And I ask a question and you're like, clip that. That was so dumb. That's what he said. He was elected. That's legitimately what the video said. What? That's... What the heck? Why? Why would you do this to me? I ask a genuine question. All right, chat, we're done. We're not going to watch any more of this. There's been too much sass already. Can't take it. My delicate sensibilities. I just can't take it. This might be too happy for me, chat. Minnesota Fats, thanks for the super chat. If you maybe rephrase it. Oh my. Okay. Yeah, so my first guess was correct. It's like a council, nobleman. Okay.
The Count of Reichland, Emperor of Man, rightful owner of Galmaraz and Prince of Altdorf, takes up the throne and now commands the vast armies of
Emperor of Man. I can't take that seriously. Nope.
Humankind at the front lines. But he is not alone, for aiding him is none other than Balthazar Gelt, the supreme...
I don't like him. I don't like him. No, that's a big no for me, dog. That is a big no. I don't like him. Nope. He is the man emperor. Fair. I just don't like his vibe. There's something off. I don't like it. I think it's the mask. It's something about the mask. I don't like it when people don't show their faces. LOL is a VTuber. Oh yeah, I'm a hypocrite there. If I want to listen to Warhammer music videos, I should look up Automatic Singer on YouTube. Oh, okay, I'll have to check that out. You should put that in the Discord server. I have a section for like stream ideas, and I go through those every once in a while. Hey, he might be burned on the face. Okay. But Okay, I mean, I guess if he doesn't want to show his, like, if he's like self-conscious about it, then you're in for a treat. That mask is basically every Age of Sigmar human soldiers ever. What? They all wear it? Oh gosh. That doesn't sound fun. Wear the VTuber model long enough and you'll get cat eye pupils too. I've actually thought about just as like a fun thing doing the... I've seen you can get like contacts with the cat eye slits. I just thought that would be fun to try for like make a cosplay or something. Okay then. I don't, you guys say I could trust him, but he doesn't seem very trustworthy to me.
Patriarch of the Colleges of Magic and mighty wizard. The Empire is indeed surrounded by enemies on all sides, but also opportunities for trade and friendship. The dwarfs of the Karazhan Corps and the fellow humans of Bretonnia being the main.
Okay, map time. Middle Mountains. Midland. Looking at all these spots. Mootland. They like their lands here. They like the land. Land. This one's different.
Main examples.
Sorry, I'm looking at the map. I like this map. Lots of forest here. You should also check out String Storm's Warhammer Idle songs as well. Thanks, DinoFan. I have checked them out. I can only get so far through them. It's it's hard to get through all of them. But Sea of Claws, Sea of Chaos. What the heck am I looking at? That looks complicated. I'm not going to look at it anymore. Sorry, I just got a map, another map from one of my mods who really wanted this to happen. That's complicated. It's time to go back to the video.
Survive, they must not only maintain, but also truly unite the Empire as one, be it through diplomacy,
I like their halberds,
strife, or through sheer violence,
or glaive.
If need be. Only in total union and common purpose will the race of man have a chance against such overwhelming odds. The armies of the Empire are a sight to behold. Rows and rows of pikes make up the bulk of a basic Imperial army.
That sounds about right.
With a solid core of crossbowmen and
just lots and lots of guys in the Imperial army. That's pretty accurate.
Flanks of heavy cavalry, including Demigryph Knights, Knights of the Blazing Sun, Knights of More, and many more.
Many knife I almost said knife factions. I meant knight factions. I like the Blazing Sun. That was the coolest name. I like fire and sun motifs a lot. That's like my personal favorite when it comes to like fantasy. I like those motifs.
Answer any combat demands, and they are ready to face the horrors of war. Deadly artillery often supports any sizable force. Cannons roar against heavy targets, the cannonballs able to break armored enemies and even city gates. The Hellstorm rocket batteries unleash havoc on the hordes of enemy.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
While the imposing steam tank roll over anything to light up.
They have a steam tank. That's funny. I wasn't expecting that, but that's funny.
And themselves. Will the Empire of Man endure against such darkness that is consuming the world? Or will humanity face its total annihilation at the hands of the many enemies that now assail them?
You could have taken that last quote and you could have put it right into 40k, and that would have been pretty similar. Oh, thank you, Scion of the Emperor, for the super chat. You should check out Lore Master of Stoic's channel and even perhaps stream with him at some point. He is the authority on Warhammer fantasy lore. Well, we'll have to see. I definitely have to meet him and definitely have a conversation before that could even happen. But I will definitely, I'll definitely take a look. This is certainly a new area I'm getting into. So, you know, wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
Cowards hiding in the deep.
All right. I do know this one thing. Chat, if you put pineapple on pizza, it's going in the Book of Grudges. I am just letting you know. It's going in the Book of Grudges. You will not be forgiven. That is a crime. That is a crime. We talked about it yesterday. I won't get into anything else. Most other things are fine, with some exceptions. But no pineapple on pizza. Anyways.
Deepest, darkest places. Fools. Every wrong is recorded. Every slight against us. Page
Yes.
after page, etched in blood.
When men hid in caves, embracing life-saving fire and battling with wood and rock, the proud dwarfs built kingdoms within the mountains. From the depths of the world, they took everything they ever wanted, and like rivers did gold, silver, gems, and star metal flow. Their armor was impenetrable, and their weapons could sunder the heavens, and even the unending hordes of greenskins could do them no harm.
Ooh.
Against the mighty elves did they fight in a war of apocalyptic scale, and when the conflict was
Classic dwarves and elves. We cannot get along. They hate each other so much. They hate each other. If I ever find a fantasy world where the elves and dwarves like never got into a massive conflict, just I'll laugh and be like, you are wrong. The complete lore between elves and pineapple. What pineapple? Dang it. I was reading a chat and I saw the pineapple and I was like, it's dinner time. I'm hungry. Between, dwarves are small and they're like spiky like a pineapple. Oh my. I did say pineapple is one of like my favorite foods. I just don't like it on pizza. But if there's ever like, it is universal, elves and dwarves like have to dislike each other at some point in their life. Like in their long history in any universe ever. What? I admit it. What? When did I say that I was an elf? I didn't say that. What are we talking about? Huh? What? I don't know what you're talking about. I legitimately don't. I'm gonna read the super chat. Thank you, Alec 24. As much as I love to stay up all night and give you all the Age of Sigmar lore, I can't. So I'd recommend look at 2+ Tough, the best AoS lore channel. Don't let the naysayers dissuade you. AoS is the best. I guess we'll have to figure out if which side I lean towards. Thank you very much for the super chat. Get some rest. And I will have to. There's a lot of new stuff to look at. It's clipped and shipped. What? Where did you clip it? Is it on Twitch or is it on YouTube? Hang on. What did I say? Wait a second. What? What has happened here? Huh? If I said something, it was an accident. I don't believe you. I mean, I believe that you think something that's incorrect, but is it under the... I can't see it right now. It's fine. Whatever. Clips are a Twitch thing? Okay, 1 second. I can't do it on my small screen. Okay, I'm gonna pause me. Where are my videos? I don't know how to navigate Twitch on a stream that is my own and get to my own clips. I don't do it very okay. It's fine. I don't care. You guys are wrong. I didn't mean it. I didn't know what I said. So I'm not. It's in the Discord. I'll play that. You'll hear the audio. How about that, chat? But I'm not going to pull it up because that's a bit... Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna... You're going to hear the audio. Right, it's not very loud. And make sure it's loud enough for you to hear. Okay. I'll laugh and be like, you are wrong. The complete lore between elves and pineapple. But pineapple, dang it. Oh, you're talking about the pineapple. Oh, I thought you were talking about me admitting I was an elf. Okay, never mind. Don't worry about it. I didn't... What? Whatever. Whatever. All right, we're gonna keep watching. I thought it was the elf one.
Over. Disaster struck. The mountains themselves shook. Volcanoes came to life, as if the world was revolted for being exploited relentlessly by mortal hands. And then they came.
Oh.
Floods of greenskins.
Oh. Oh. I got terrified for a second. Because I'm accustomed in Dungeons & Dragons seeing driders, the drow with the spider. So I thought this was a goblin drider thing, which it would be a goiter. Or a gobber. A gobber? Yeah, a gobber. I thought it was half a goblin fused with a spider, and I was like, oh, that's actually kind of scary. Oh, thank goodness it's not that. Thank goodness. Oh, gosh. Oh, Spider Dad can handle that. Yeah, he totally could. He can handle all manner of spiders. Oh, yeah, you can feel free to take that idea for your next campaign. The gobber. Or the gobbler. Oh, is that scarier? Gobbler? It sounds like cobbler, but with a G. So maybe don't use that one. A goober. No, it's gotta be gobber. Yeah, I just can't unsee it now, and it's scary. It scares me, chat. Sounds like a reject Spider-Man villain. Yeah, the gobber. Oh, okay, we'll keep going, but that really threw me off.
And Skaven that took over dwarf hold after dwarf hold when they were most vulnerable.
Oof.
And now their kingdom as
Wait, did he have a gun?
Most vulnerable.
Oh yeah, he had a gun.
Their kingdom as they built it is no more. The golden age of the dwarfs is over.
Ooh.
It has been that way for a long time now, and their glory days only a memory sung in sagas and told in legends. But through grit and determination,
okay, that's kind of neat.
Shoulder on to
the animation where the dwarves just got thrown up into the air, that was really cool. I like that.
This day, surviving, for it is what they know best. Mankind has taken the place of the elves and dwarves of old as rulers and inhabitants of the old world. In the mighty hall...
I'm sorry, at this point, it's just going to be an argument from Pineapple on Pizza stream. I saw a comment that I like, and I just want to say something. So, Ultrafist said, I like to imagine dwarves and elves hate each other because dwarves love ham on pizza, but hate pineapple, and vice versa with the elves. And then humans just come in and be like pineapples and ham together. That's why you sometimes see an alliance between the three factions. I really like that, because I think dwarves are the kind of, I like ham. Any meat, most meats, that you can put on a pizza, yes, absolutely. And that, I think, fits within like the dwarf stereotype. They're like, give me all the meat you've got, I will inhale it. Whereas like the elves are more like the kind, if you've ever been to like those like fancy like hipster pizza places, they put like spinach on their pizza and like other vegetables. Like that's what elves do. And I think elves would be more inclined to put pineapple on their pizza. So I had to address that because I agreed with that, and I was like, oh yes, the dwarves, they like all the meat, and the elves would put like hipster. There's another word. No, there's nothing wrong with that. Except if you put pineapple on pizza, but like that's just the vibe. Putting apple slices? Oh gosh. Don't do that. It depends on like the mixture of things. I didn't completely say spinach on pizza is like horrible. It's not my preference. Like if you said Aurelia, would you like this pizza that has like spinach and like fancy cheese on it? Or would you like this one that's like filled with pepperoni, sausage, ham, bacon, and more? Which one would you choose? I would choose the one that is stacked and overflowing with meat. Because it's delicious. Nothing wrong with having a pizza preference unless it's pineapple on pizza. But that was just, if I was going to stereotype both of them, that's what it would be regarding their pizza preferences. Maybe we'll make a whole stream about it, chat. At this point, I should. No, get mushrooms off my pizza. No. Nope. Nope. Oh. All right, we're going to continue. We're halfway. Look, chat, it is. We have been streaming for 47 minutes. And we are 7 minutes into the video. It's fine. It's fine.
Of Karazakarak, thunder can be heard, but it comes not from the heavens. It comes from underground, as the dwarfs march to war once again to reclaim their glory. And at the head of the throng is King Thorgrim Grudge.
Did he say at the head of the throng? Did he say at the head of the throng? What?
Glory. And at the head of the throng is King Thorgrim Grudgebearer.
The herbs must pay. Let them come.
A legendary hero of countless battles and High King of the
Ew.
Dwarfs. Wielder of the axe of legendary Grimnir, protected by the ancestor gods themselves. The High King has the duty to reclaim what is rightfully his and of his kin. The great book of grudges is full, and ancient grudges that have waited too long are bound to be settled. The slayers flock to march to meet their destiny, and leading them is the...
He's got a very nice beard. I like it when they put thought and care into like the attention of like the beard when it comes to like fantasy and like art styles, like the braids with I can't exactly tell what those are. Those look like runes that are like on little clips that they sew into the hair, or like little like tassels and beads. I like that. Oh, throng. I know the word throng, but it sounded like he said thronk. So perhaps I just made the mistake and I can't hear. Yeah, he's got really nice hair.
Slayer King of Karak Kadrin, Ungrim Ironfist.
Oh.
Wielding a great axe
is that...
and cloak.
Okay, so I spoke too soon, but I think I understand what's happening here. His beard is very nice, however, it's spiky here. But this axe looks like it's covered in lightning? And if it is, then it makes sense for his hair to be spiky like that. Unless he puts gel in it. Then there's that. But I like the idea that this is lightning, and from it's static, the static it makes it stand up. They just have mohawks. It's a very big mohawk. That is a huge mohawk.
In the hide.
It keeps going. Oh my gosh.
Beast.
No. I don't want to. There we go. I want to go back to where I see the last full, like. Look at how tall that is. Like, it's like half the size of his body, minimum. Wow. He got hair.
On short legs they march, and with them comes vengeance made manifest. Proud by nature, most dwarf formations use a simple but effective axe and shield, or two-handed axe, for indeed they are old-fashioned. But not only a dwarf and his axe make for a fearsome warrior and a valuable addition to any army, they are often accompanied by a throng of the greatest and most...
See, there, it's easy to tell that he said throng. Throng. So much easier versus what he said earlier.
effective artillery in the world to support them. They are slow, and as such, their battle tactics are quite defensive. Lines of quarrelers, wielding the trustworthy crossbow, pepper the enemies with bolts, and thunderers unleash their deadly fire upon anything without a beard.
So, do their ladies have beards too? I love the Lord of the Rings joke. That when Gimli's talking about the difference between dwarf men and women, there's like, it's hard to say what the difference is when he's talking to Eowyn. And Aragorn in the background, he's like, it's the beards. It's the beards. They have the ladies have fine hair in their beards. Oh, that'd be nice. Ooh. Okay, I gotta see some bearded lady dwarf, but just lady dwarf. You don't have to add the bearded because they just are bearded. I gotta look at some art for that. Huh. Soft, fluffy lady beards. I mean, imagine you're a dwarf man. You're coming home to your dwarf wife, and it's a long day of mining. And like you put your head on her chest, and it's like extra comfortable because she has really soft, gossamer like hair. Like, oh wow, that would be nice.
With the exception of the rangers, who are equipped for scouting, and the slayers, who are destined to seek a glorious death on the battlefield. All dwarves carry very heavy armor when compared to other armies, and even the lowliest of warriors is clad in thick metal. Dwarves spit at magic and consider it foul play, so they use runes, an interesting and quite effective workaround.
That still gives me the impression in 40k, the Space Wolves, they're like, no, we don't do that warp magic. What we do is we use rune magic. It's from Fenris. It's totally different. It's totally different. That's what this feels like. They're like, no, we don't do magic. We use runes.
Accompanying the runes comes a great assortment of field engineers who help the war machines work around the clock, delivering death and vengeance with the efficiency of a well-oiled machine. For centuries, they have stood like rocks against their enemies, and they plan to do so once again, as their kingdom is set to collapse once and for all. The stubbornness of the dwarfs is to be truly tested with the coming tribulations.
He's so angry. See, now imagine if the goblin was just fused into the spider. Disgusting.
Fell deed has been entered into the Damaskran, and the cover slammed shut in rage.
Get him.
By my oath, it shall not be opened until the grudge is settled, until the bones are smashed to powder.
When the fury of the greenskins descends upon the land, it leaves nothing behind, save for total destruction and ruin.
It's my guess that these guys are the most consistent between the worlds. Greenskins and then the orcs. I like to think they're probably pretty consistent.
Any standing structures are burned and broken up for raw materials. Crops are trampled.
Oh, chat, they're wearing that red so they go extra fast. They go extra fast, chat.
Livestock eaten and rivers
Oh, there's purple ones too.
The size and destructive nature of a greenskin horde means that it needs to keep moving in order to survive. Otherwise, it would soon exhaust the local supplies of food and water.
Oh, so they live like a nomadic lifestyle. Okay, that's kind of neat. So they're like consistently like raiding other areas. Oh. The 40k ones are better. Huh.
And then, inevitably, turn upon itself.
Nice.
For this reason, a powerful and capable war boss must always lead the tribes from battle to battle to keep the momentum going, traveling wherever there's fighting to be had, and fresh lands to raid, and no place, no matter how hidden or well protected it may be, is ever safe from the reach of the greenskins. In the order of greenskin life, the strong rule over the weak.
Okay,
All of them are drawn to fight alongside a powerful war boss who can lead their tribes from victory to victory.
Okay.
Capable of leading entire tribes from battle to battle are the Black Orcs. They are the largest, strongest.
Oh, so they have even like little divisions between them. Oh, I thought they were all the same. The fantasy orcs, mostly more scary and less funny. Oh, okay. Oh boy.
And most ferocious of all the greenskins. They are elite warriors of a brutal race of creatures who live to fight. And amongst their number, there is no meaner and tougher war boss than Grimgor Ironhide. From the day Grimgor was first seen, he hadn't stopped fighting and conquering. No rival war boss can stand before his might, and few dare.
Oh, that looks very uncomfortable. His nose piercing, that looks so uncomfortable.
To fall under the gaze of his one good eye. As the world burns in the flames of conflict, the greenskins are more eager than ever to find a good scrap. There are signs that Grimgor is mustering the biggest war the world has ever seen. Skarsnik, who has long been fighting in one of the bloodiest conflicts known in the Warhammer world, the War of Karak 8 Peaks,
they got their little
is
squigs
now marching
too.
his war into a path of war and destruction, above and beyond the ground and the mountains.
What are those guys? What are those guys? Who are these guys? They look weird. Oh, Mini Death Knight, thank you for the bits. Let me get you the button, sir. And oh, Dino Maniac, thank you. I think this was during the dwarf portion. Rock and Stone. I don't completely understand the reference, but I'll take it. Sons of Bahamut, not Bahamut. Nope, they're yours now. You have to take them. You have to take them. They're yours. You must. Yeah, Warhammer Fantasy and Age of Sigmar. We're currently in the middle of this video learning I don't know anything. So, beginner's lore overview guide to the races in Total War Warhammer. So, it's a dwarf thing. I figured it was, but I just don't know all the connections to it.
Movies then? I bet those pretty little cities were lovely.
Grom the Paunch, the largest and most powerful goblin warlord to ever live, is also mustering a mighty army of goblins and other nasty creatures. Too many and too varied to count.
He is round. He is round, chat. Look at his face. Look at his face. Always so exciting to see someone embarking on the start of their Warhammer fantasy journey. Yeah, I know a chunk. I wouldn't say I know a lot, but I know a decent amount about Warhammer 40k and 30k. But this is the first time I've touched the Warhammer fantasy side. So, thank you for joining us today. I've heard, and by reading the chat, I can see that you are well versed in a Warhammer fantasy. So welcome. I don't know how you found me, but I hope you enjoy, well, this. The Chungus lad. He is round. I don't know, there's something about his face that makes me think of like a fat cat that's ready for you to feed them like their next meal. Like you just fed them, but they want more food. Like, that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. Is his name Grom the Paunch? Is that his name? That's funny if that's his name. Welcome to the superior and original Warhammer setting. Totally not biased. We'll see. I did read a lot of fantasy stuff when I was younger, and then I got into 40k. So fantasy is kind of where I've mainly been in terms of like most like what I read normally. So, thank you very much for subscribing. Lore Master Sotek. Am I saying it the right way, Sotek? I hope I'm saying it right. Thank you very much for joining the Legion and joining the Great Crusade. So thank you very much. Well, very cool of you. I hope you enjoy this. I plan to incorporate more Warhammer Fantasy content since I want to know more about it. Oh, and thank you, Rojislav? I think that's what it is. So thank you very much for subscribing as well and joining the Legion. Warhammer Fantasy is perhaps the most potent setting for TTRPG, but it's barely represented in video games. Well, I want to know more about it. If this doesn't get me going. Or something will. Yes, Rock and Stone Brothers. Thanks for the bit. We'll continue before I keep making fun of this guy. I just think it's the art is good. The art is really good, and it invokes joy.
The hulking goblin warlord is considered to be the only greenskin to have ever made a successful greenskin invasion against the distant lands of Ulthuan, and is now looking for the world to plunder and crush under his whip. Fear grows through all lands, as thousands of mighty war bosses from across the world are seeking more foes where the battles are the bloodiest. Who will lead the most successful war to roam the earth? One thing is for sure, though. The orcs and goblins are sure to find what they are looking for in this heat.
I'm sorry. These guys are kind of cute. I like it. I assume they're squigs or something similarly named. They got little, those, so he has horns here. This one looks like it has mushrooms growing out of its head. I don't know. They're kind of like dragony, which I think is cool. Kind of a little different from the other ones, which were like more like squig blobs. Are they actually squigs? Do they still call them squigs? But I like how these look more draconian. Versus, I think the one in 40k are just more like squishy. Fantasy squigs are adorable. They look really mean. Like, they make me think of like... They give me the impression that they're like fantasy pit bulls. That like, you're like, oh, he doesn't bite. And you see him and you're like, yeah, no, he totally would bite me. Squigs come in all sizes, yeah. Yeah, not all pit bulls are bad, by the way. That was just, that's just the general joke, but not all pit bulls are bad. There's some pit bulls that I'm aware of that are like really, really sweet dogs. That's so sweet. Anyways, we'll keep going.
Heated campaign of immortal empires.
Look at their big old tongues, too. They're like all mouth.
Dreadfully they march, and fearful is their form.
Alright, chat, here's the thing. There's vampires. We all know how I feel about a particular vampire. So we'll see if I end up like wanting to play this faction. I'm not a Twilight girly. Don't even. No. I'm not a Twilight girly, chat. Don't do this. So we'll see if I like these vampires. They're more Nosferatu than my vampire. Ah, dang it. I want the good-looking, sanguineous vampire. So sad.
For there is no other way of being for the undead. In the cursed lands of Sylvania dwells an evil without equal. Those who seek to annihilate the living and supplant them with an empire of undead creatures under their command. These are vampires and necromancers, life forms that should...
Wait. You say you have sexy vampires? You need to put this down, write this down, tell me who the sexy vampires are. We have an art channel in the Discord server. Join the Discord server and put the art of said sexy vampires in there. I will look at it. I will look at it. I promise. Please, I must know. Give me all the names. Sanguineous is how I learned about like Warhammer 40k. So I need to know. I need to know because this is the gateway to Warhammer Fantasy, so it has to obviously be the same. Oh, what's his name? Hot, sexy vampires in your area 2 miles away and approaching quickly. You want to drink my blood? Oh, as you wish, boss. No, don't call me that. Anyways. Yeah, the Discord thing. Thank you, mods and Ultrafist for throwing the link around. Appreciate it. Oh, there's this guy. Someone sent me a name. Vlad von Karstein? The rest of the sexy ones are girls. Oh, well, yeah, okay, that makes sense. He does look kind of cool. I like his armor. Okay, maybe we'll see him in this. Maybe we'll see him in this. But my heart belongs to Sanguinius.
Not exist at all. Patient, cunning, devious. The vampires work to conquer the land of the living with ancient and corrupted
I like that guy's hat, by the way. It's cool.
Bringing the dead to life again, but bound to their will. I am here,
Ooh. Yeah, I don't like him. You know it's a bad sign when the bad guy or like the enemy approaches you to like attack you or hurt you and they're walking, because you know they do not need to exert themselves to finish you. They know they don't need to finish you. Like they don't need to like go fast to finish you. They're like, yeah, I'll take my time. This is enjoyable to me. I'll catch up to you anyway. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's like the worst. Have I heard of the Hollow King? No, I have not. Don't know who that is. That's why we're gonna learn. A noble Sanguinius style vampire count would be kind of awesome. Yes, please, GW, make that guy. Make that guy. I will. I'll be all over that.
And the rest of your pathetic cities will follow.
Hang on. Let me see if... I don't know if it's just my settings or... That might improve it. Might not. Probably won't.
Sylvania itself is a province of the Empire, at least officially.
Oh, right there. Okay. It's a province, but no one wants to touch it with a 9-foot pole. What, next to the dead wood? That seems like a big warning. It's a big warning to anyone who's coming close to Sylvania or Sylvan.
To the east of Sturland and south of Ostermark, sandwiched between the two and the World's Edge Mountains, the kingdom of the dwarfs, who are fundamentally opposed to the art of necromancy.
I feel like
it is a great
dwarves are naturally opposed to everything. I think for the most part, they're naturally opposed to everything. Like, that's why they have their Book of Grudges, right? Right?
and grey place, a haunted province that seems to be forgotten by the gods. There is a vampire who stands above all others in might, significance, and in megalomaniacal splendor.
I don't like this guy.
Vlad von Karstein, he who waged war on the...
That's not him, right? He's not looking all that attractive if that's art of him.
Greatest empire of the old world, and very nearly took the throne, the hammer, and the
no, that
crown,
is him. Oh,
and
dang it.
truthfully brought it to its knees before our feet.
Chad, I thought you said he was sexy. You lied to me, Chad. You lied to me. He's not. He's... was. Wait, he was sexy. Oh, okay, so lies were happening. He was. Only when he's in thirst is he like this. See, this is why you gotta stick with Sanguinius. The biggest thing is that, like, he gets fangs and his eyes turn red, and he might have some anger issues, which, you know, is a whole other set of problems. But we are shallow here, and we only care about looks. He has a wife? He has a wife? Oh, well, I'm not going after a married man. It's fine. You put images in the Discord. Let me look. Let me look. Oh, I like the lady dwarf pictures. We'll look at these afterwards. Some of these are funny. Ah, dang it. He has a wife. Okay. Well, we're not going anywhere with that, chat. It's fine. I had a husband. That's a joke. I'm not actually married to him. We're not going after married men. Ah, very sad. Oh well. I'm happy for them. I'm happy for them. They seem very happy slaughtering people together. You know, the family that, the couple that slays together stays together, chat. In the fantasy universe only. Please. Yeah, it's okay. It's fine. He looks very happy with her.
The lowliest of professions stole the ring that granted him immortality and vanished with it, never to be seen again.
Ooh.
Vlad was defeated so long ago, but now, in the reign of Emperor Karl Franz, he is back. He has lost no desire for dominance.
How did he come back, though? I need to know. Because, like, how did he come back? They like just glazed over that. He looks more like Fulgrim, honestly. And no, I was laughing at something else that I thought of, but I'm not going to say it because it's kind of cursed. But like he looks more like a Fulgrim. Like Fulgrim has like really sharp features, or like Sanguinius does too, but Fulgrim's more like he got that chiseled look. Like he's sharp right here, and he got like the Sharpie kind of design that makes me think of Fulgrim, less of Sanguinius. Necromancy, thank you. I was wondering how he came back. Who would have ever guessed necromancy? Oh no, I have so many horrible jokes, I can't say them. Oh, I can't say them. I have so many jokes that I want to say about this guy coming back to life, but nope. But look, he seems very, I mean, this picture doesn't show him happy, but like, I think he's happy. She looks nice. She looks nice. She got the really nice eyebrows. Ooh. All right, I gotta calm down for a second. Ooh. All right, we'll continue this. The total Warhammer timeline is a bit fuzzy, with characters returning to the setting when they're technically dead, and the game just sort of hand waves it off. Like, I think Warhammer 40K is kind of getting to that point. They're bringing back like main characters to continue fighting, so it might be like a similar thing. He looks protective and guarded. Yeah, he wants to trust his wife, but like, I wonder what's going on so that the viewer has done to offend this man. And he's like about to stick his fingers in her drink. It looks like that, and that's cursed. Have you ever tried grabbing a cup from like the inside of the glass, like the inside and the outside, pinch it between your fingers? Like that, I feel like that's what he's gonna do. And she's like, no, babe, please, we talked about this. Don't do that. Okay, I'm gonna be serious now. I'll be serious. We're gonna get past this and we're gonna watch more. We're 18 minutes in and we've been streaming for an hour and 15. So I'm gonna keep going.
Alongside his beloved Isabella von Kost.
Oh, I hate that. That was horrible. That was a jump scare that I did not appreciate. Oh, I didn't like that. Okay. Oh, that scared me.
He once more raises the undead and marches to retake what he feels is his by right of conquest. For the strong take and the weak serve, be it dead or alive. In the field of battle they feel no fear, but instead they bestow it upon others. Indeed, although there are many a deadly form of unlife in the armies of the vampire counts, their main weapon is dread itself.
Ooh.
As naught but the strongest of hearts will stand in front of a line of their loved ones stolen from sweet death, or a phalanx of mighty warriors from the time that Sigmar walked the earth.
Oh, that would be so horrible. The psychological damage and that effect it would have on you. That's a really good point. Yeah, because if you're taking over like a town and you've killed some people in your opening siege and you're like, magic them. Now you have to fight your dead wife. Ooh. Fantasy vampires are scary, but they also can be sexy when they want to. But in battle, they prefer the be super spooky. Yeah, I mean, I would too. I think I would want to be really scary and intimidating. And yeah, I think that would be better off in the long run.
Or monsters untold, man-eaters of all forms. The counts make use of the artful craft known as necromancy. This all comes together as a cacophony that brings shivers to the spines of all, and breaks stone upon a tidal wave of corpses vile. Those that fall to the...
Question, in the game, in Total War, if you're playing the vampire court and your undead army is fighting, like let's say it's like this, the dwarves, when the dwarves die, is there like sometimes like a special ability that's probably limited where you can control their undead dwarves? Can you do that? Like with certain characters or leaders or something like that? I'm just curious. No? Why not? Why not? You just get to summon more vampire units for free after a battle. Okay, I guess that's fine, but like it'd be cool if you could just take their dead units, like, you know, with special stuff. In game, you cannot resurrect the actual corpses, but you have spells that raise fresh zombies. Okay, that's fine. It's less cool because I think that'd be nice if you like fought a bunch of different like other different factions and groups, and then you just had a hodgepodge where maybe they have like a similar stat block or like slightly different stat blocks based on like where you got the unit from, what faction they're part of. But I think that would be kind of a cool feature. So you're like, I just want to exclusively fight dwarves because I like the dwarves fighting style, versus my standard undead, or like, no, I like elves, or I like greenskins or whatever. I think that would be cool. I think that would be like a fun way to play it. Where they're obviously, they might not be as good as like a full dwarf army, but like maybe you could have a variety of different units from different factions so you could like even out your army. There's a mod for that? Yeah. Nice. Slanesh has an ability to seduce units from enemy armies into joining your armies. Oh no. Hey, baby, come over here. I have the Code Red Mountain Dew. I have Sanguinius alive and well on this side, on this army. Yeah, you get me in a heartbeat. One of the quotes in the Total War Warhammer game when you fight against a vampire is, "I recognized you recognize your cousin. He's been dead for a year." Oof, that's scary. We're not out of the woods yet, chat. We got like 1 minute of vampire, and then we're good. Aurelia Riz at work. I mean, that's what it would take to Riz me.
Undead armies.
I'm not that down bad. Like you're getting a lot of Sanguinius jokes today, but I'm really chill about. For the most part, like I'm really chill about it, and I'm not like, oh my gosh, and I'm not salivating the whole time. I was just curious because it's vampires, and he's a vampire. This isn't the only vampire faction. Oh. You are not out of the woods, chat. You're still stuck with me. You're in trouble. No, but I'm not like most streams. I don't like Sanguinius. Maybe gets mentioned once. No, don't lie. Don't lie. Don't lie. This is a more rare thing. It maybe he gets brought up once or twice, but it's not like today. Today is different. Today is different. Stop lying. Delete that. Where's that message? It needs to go away. Go away. No, you added him. Dang it. Oh, it's fine. Anyways, let's watch a video, chat. Chat. I jingle keys in front of you, chat. The keys. The VOD is posted. You can find it. I'm not gonna link it. You can find it yourself. I finally get to meet cool creators, and all they see is my love for Sanguinius, and I'm no longer cool. No. No. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm never gonna get away from this. Alright, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna get through the first vampire faction. No, I'm not very cool. You're right.
Soon rise again, where once stood defiant enemy soldiers fighting against the undead hordes. Now stand the twitching corpse puppets.
Oh, is that an undead
fiend,
dragon?
all reanimated by the dark arts of necromancy.
Okay. Wait, where's my mouse? Right. Yeah, that looks like an undead dragon. That's so sick. The only way, embracing cringe is the only way to truly be cool. Oh gosh. Well, I'm glad you think so.
Animated by the dark arts of necromancy. The dead do not rest easy. They are now marching to take over the world.
Wave corpses will make a fine addition.
Yeah. Why?
When death alone...
So why do they include this? Why do they have this animation if they don't let you pick up other people's units? It's so, I mean, I said it earlier, but like, man, why would they make this if you can't do that? Whatever, they at least let you get more units after a battle. That's fine.
Is certain. How can the living possibly hope to prevail?
Burn it with fire. If you burn it with fire, then it can't hopefully come back. Because if it's ashes, it doesn't have bones, and then it can't stand, and then it can't fight you. You have to burn it.
The children
Ooh,
of chaos,
I don't like that.
or else known as the Beast Men, are present in almost all places of the world, hiding under the shadows and always stalking their prey. They are ready to go to war. United under a massive Bray herd, they run with deep hatred, seeking only to bring ruin and an age of slaughter. When the thunder...
Why would he just stand there and shoot them as like a bunch of them are charging all at once, like in a huge group? That was a dumb move on his part. He could have been alive.
Thunderous and incomprehensible energies of the raw powers of chaos were unbounded by the breaking of the polar gates. Doom fell upon the world. In the darkness and the instability that brought the unleashed chaos energies, the primitive humans of the world and the beasts of the forests.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's disgusting. Ew. Oh. Ugh.
Blended in unnatural ways.
Ugh.
Into the eerie woods, a warped progeny was born.
This art is insane. Oh yeah, I do know there are beastmen in 40K. What book was it where they talked about the beastmen? Is it Black Legion? I can't remember, but ooh.
The beast men, howling as wild beasts, but with the intelligence of a primitive
It looks almost
man.
Zinchian with all the eyes and the mouths.
The twisted existence of the beast men is distant from any life form created by the natural
your hose,
flow
buddy.
of things. The most common breeds carry a goat or a bull head above their abominable bodies. The horns grow from a hard brow. The muscled cattle legs carry a man-like upper body as their cloven hooves trample the ground. The strongest and most brutal of beasts within the herd moves to be the apex predator, the chieftain or wargore of the pack. They care not how their underlings are fed or how disputes are settled. The only thing a wargore concerns himself with is with battle. Many legendary characters have been known to lead entire Bray herds into battle, including Kazrak, the One-Eye, Malagor, the Dark Omen, Morgur, the Shadowgave, or Torox, the Brass Bull. Just as the chieftain seeks the leader of the enemy army to slay, the Bray shamans know no greater pleasure than hunting and butchering the priests of man in the field of battle. And then laying waste to their altars. With malign intent, they lead innumerable tribes of mutated creatures. Thousands of warherds exist across the entire world, many hidden deep in dark forests, while some others live in caves, mountains, or other hidden places. As the world is shaken to its core by the upcoming conflict of immortal empires, entire warherds are mobilizing to war, plundering and consuming all in their path. The beast men are amongst the most savage of all races in the Warhammer world. And they surely are a unique faction that seeks only to kill and destroy, to show mankind that they are the true predators at the top of the food chain. Bellowing, braying, and screaming, the cloven ones sound their brash horns as they quickly cover ground. The beast horde has opened its jaws, ready to consume.
Okay, so when I first looked at this art, I thought someone had stabbed a sword through him, but he actually has, that's there. That's actually a nice, like, little guard. Chat, he wants to give you hugs. Chat, let him give you a hug. It is sure to be, like, what's a good joke? Like, he'll probably give you, like, no, I don't have a good joke. It'll be the worst hug of your life. Let's just say that. His battle cry is free hugs. I don't know. Yeah, he's the huggy type. Look at those teeth. Look at the horns. Look at the horns. Look at that spike. There's more horns and teeth. That hug will really touch your heart. I think, well, depending on how tall you are, maybe. If anything, it'll touch your stomach. You could kill him by telling him his shoe is untied. I don't know. I don't think that would work. Let us hug into your heart. Yeah, no, I'll pass, chat. I'll pass.
All civilizations, and is now roaming far and wide.
Oh, elves, chat. Elves. Okay, get your jokes out of the way now, chat. He's out there, free lifetime supply of hugs, but he never gives them. He is so sad because no one ever accepts his offer of free hugs. There you go, chat. Make your jokes now. Make your jokes now. Make your dumb elf jokes. We'll continue.
For thousands of years, the Wood Elves have lived in harmony with the sentient forest of Athel-Loren. They crave nothing so much as to be left alone, to tend of the forest in peace.
Me. I crave nothing except to be left alone.
The Wood Elves care little for the outside world.
Oh, they have like Ents.
But when the fate of the nearby lands threatens Athel-Loren, they stride to war alongside the full might of the forest. The Wood Elves are the masters of the bow, and it is said that an elven marksman can hit the eye of a goblin in the dark. They are slender and swift, with minds and bodies that are capable of great dexterity.
He said, wait, what elves are the most murderous? There's a joke. I didn't come up with the joke, chat. But my friend told me there's a meme that says, it's like, I speak for the trees, and for some reason the trees speak Vietnamese. And that is what it made me think about. The sniping from the tree line. The guerrilla warfare. Poor Aurelia just wants to be left alone with her sanguineous fanfics in the depths of the forest. I've actually not read any sanguineous fanfics, so... Nor do I want to. Honestly, I don't. The trees do speak, yeah. If they're like these sentient trees, like dryads, or it looks like Ents from Lord of the Rings, then the trees do speak. Probably a different language.
Constantly honing their skills in an environment that challenges them every day of their lives. The Wood Elves are also supported by mighty tree men, colossal living trees that smash through the enemy lines with their gnarled fists, pulverizing all in their path. They are implacable, fearing neither pain nor death, for their bodies no longer have the ability to feel sensation. Ariel, the queen of the forest and one of the most powerful wizards in the world, is
blue.
The avatar of Isha, the ancient elven goddess of nature.
Oh, so Isha from Warhammer 40k is the same as this Isha. She's got the eyebrows. Eyebrows for days, chat. She's like a moth, but a butterfly. She's more like a butterfly, really. But her little fuzzies make me think of a moth, because I think moths have the fuzzier antennae versus the regular butterflies. Moth brows. Yeah. Thank you, James, for the super chat. It's my lineage, or are you saying lineage, privilege to that joke. The trees speaking. She's designed after a moth. Hide the lamps. Yes, hide the lamps, chat. She's gonna steal the light. It's a very jarring color scheme right here. The very bright green, the different butterfly. Like, honey, if she picked like a purple, like a light purple dress out, it would look great with her hair, her skin color, and her wings. The green is not doing it for her. But that's okay. She's got other problems to deal with.
And when the realm of the Wood Elves is threatened, Orion...
Okay, this is cool. Is that like tattoos, or is that like part of their skin? This, the vine. That's kind of neat. Because that is skin. That is skin, right? That's skin. This is skin. That's cloth. I think that's skin. Ritual scarring. Oh. I guess that makes sense why it's raised. Huh. That's kind of cool. Ritual scarring, though, yeah, that probably hurts. Those are literal vines that are woven and grown into the flesh as part of the ritual to awaken Orion within an elf prince's body each year. Who is this Orion guy? Huh. Who is Orion? Lord of the Hunt? That only clears up a little bit, but I know, just starting out, I'm not going to know everything. Huh. Okay, well, we're going to have to figure him out. Lord of the Wild Hunt. Okay, there we go. Interesting. Okay. We'll have to investigate this guy later.
Orion is the first to fight in its defense. The demigod Orion is the king of Athaloran.
I literally just asked, I was like, yo, what is this? And they're like, oh, the next, 2 seconds, they're like, oh, Ryan. I'm like, oh, if I just played the video, I would figure out the answer, maybe.
In its defense. The demigod Orion is the king of Athaloran. He dies in flame each year and is reborn anew each spring.
So I bet it's like a huge honor to be chosen as Orion, but you die. You die. A year later in flame. That kind of sucks. Imagine you're living your life and you're like, I'm so excited. I'm gonna the possibilities are endless. But then you're like, I'm gonna marry my girlfriend and it'll be great. I'm so excited for our wedding in a year. And then Orion's like, hey, what's up? That's a nice looking body you got there. You mind if I just use it? And then that is so sad, because then you're like, but I was gonna marry my girlfriend and I love her, and they're like, nope, Orion. And I'm sure it's a huge honor, but yikes, your life is done. You don't get to escape into death. You become Orion and are forever made to be a part of him, along with all those who became Orion in the past. So you're like the Avatar from The Last Airbender, kind of. So you're part of his personality. You're like an aspect of him. And in the future, you will be a part of other ones. That is so sad, though. That sucks. Well, sorry to all those people who gotta deal with that. I'm sure it's a huge honor, and it's a cool thing. Oh, no, so it's worse. It's forced to be part of a kind of hive mind. You have to go through serious physical torture. Oh, Oh, no, so it just sucks. It just sucks. It just sucks, chat. It is not enjoyable. Wow. And it's only dudes. You know, I just want to know for, I'm asking for a friend because if I could avoid that fate, I would love to avoid that fate as a woman. I would love to not have to deal with that. I'm like, oh great. He only takes dudes. Perfect. I am safe. Orion says girls are yucky. Him and the Emperor both. Cool. Well, I feel better if that is the case. Women have their own horrifying things that can come for them for wood elves. Oh no. A period. I'm sorry. That's so dumb. It's so dumb. Okay, I won't make any more jokes about that. I'm sure it's actually worse. I was making a dumb joke. And depending on the person, periods can be really bad or not so bad. It depends, but it's funny. Okay.
Upon finding and settling upon the magical forest, many elves learnt the art of tree singing and learned to speak with the life essence of the trees, whispering and listening to the spirits of that sacred place. It was then.
Oh my gosh, that's a huge eagle. It's like in The Hobbit. Those eagles, they're huge. But I like their armor. Gotta protect those. Gotta go protect the boards.
Always respectful of all things natural, truly embraced Athaloran as their home.
Bum, bum, bum. Does every faction or most faction get their own like version of a dragon? Because that looks like a dragon right there. Do most of them get some sort of dragon variant? Because I like dragons. I like dragons. Oh, that's not what I want.
Unlike most other races, the Wood Elves have never sought to become rulers of the world.
Oh,
Instead,
that's cool of them.
They wish only to see their homeland persist through the ages.
Okay.
This is the main cause for which they have to fight, for no land endures long if it cannot take up arms against those who wish to harm it.
Oh, that dragon. How? I can't go back. No, I have to let it go forward a little bit.
If it cannot take up arms.
It's got, that's kind of neat. It's got, the horns look very similar to like the antlers that some of the wood elves wear. That's kind of neat. I like that. I like that little touch.
Against those who wish to harm it. As much as the Wood Elves have no interest in the affairs of other nations and races, they are aware that the fate of Athaloran and their survival as a race is tied to that of other lands. As the Wood Elves seek to survive the darkest season of Athaloran, they guard the forest realm against invaders who seek to destroy their woodland home.
The wild hunt begins!
I got some Pegasi here.
Ah, Bretonia, land of knights, chivalry, feudalism, trebuchets, and the Lady of the Lake.
I love that. He like said it like he was like he's been there and he's like, yes, I love this place. I want to return here on a trip, on a vacation. Warhammer France. It kind of, I don't know, it kind of sounds like Warhammer England. That's what it sounds like, but, you know, I'm sure it'll get more French as we go.
A powerful and fertile land, whose peasants work tirelessly, both in the farms and in the battlefields. When the mighty Sigmar Heldenhammer came to create his empire, he asked the Bretonni, founding tribe of these lands, to join him, but they refused to be part of the new Empire of Man.
Oh,
Indeed,
interesting.
This powerful bastion of humanity has clashed with the Empire on more than one bloody occasion.
Why?
As well as with the Wood Elves of Athaloran, who technically reside in righteous Bretonian land. The current Royarch of Bretonia, Luan Leon.
Royarch. I would not have expected a mashup of those two words to Royarch, but I guess it works.
Named Lionheart by the Lady of the Lake herself, commands respect from all dukes under his command. He is the Duke of Couronne, one of the mighty Grail Knights, and the penultimate warrior king of Bretonia. Although minor border skirmishes between dukedoms and imperial provinces are inevitable, Luen is a friend of the Empire, and indeed a friend of Emperor Karl Franz himself.
Oh, there. He's mad. He's so mad.
By his side stands the Fey Enchantress, a powerful vessel to the Lady of the Lake, and Alberic de Bordelot, a mighty duke and worshipper of Manan,
there's the
god
French.
of the sea. And together they seek to banish the forces of chaos from their lands. The Bretonni are courageous beyond doubt, and even the humble peasant turned man-at-arms, pulled away from home and hearth by war, spills his blood gladly for the lady and the land, with polearm and bow in hand.
Yeah, if I was fighting for a lady that pretty, I would spill my blood willingly too. If I was a peasant, I would do it. I'd be like, wow, I would gladly die in her honor.
The solid core of a Bretonian army is, however, its cavalry.
Yeah.
For they are renowned across the old world and
Cavalry's
beyond as
awesome.
having the best knights around. From the lowly knights errant to the vigorous Grail Guardians, they are all death delivered on horseback. But that is not all, for the most accomplished amongst them take as their mounts an elegant and rare creature, the Pegasus.
Yes.
And with them they ride.
Oh. This right here, chat. I'm so accustomed to seeing Pegasus or Pegasi, whatever, that they just have white, silver wings, solid color wings. But you know what I really appreciate right here? I absolutely adore the feather variation. That looks so nice. Like, so, it's so different. Like, I was expecting them to be all white or all black or all gray, but like the stripes that look like, I don't know too much about birds, but like bird of prey or like just regular like bird coloring and feather variation. Ooh, I love that. I really, really like that. I think this is like the first time I've seen something like this. If I was going to paint a Pegasus, I would paint it like a barn owl. So it would be like white and like golden yellow. So that's, if I was going to do it, I'd paint it like that. I really like this. I really like this. If they had a peacock Pegasi, no. See, that's too much. There's something about like the simplified beauty. The peacock, yeah, it's pretty, but then you have a blue horse. But there's something about like, it's a horse with wings, but like just, I don't know. I think it looks better as a natural colored horse with natural colored feathers, and not that peacock feathers aren't natural, but they don't really fit the horse color scheme. No, I like that.
Amongst the very winds. These brave warriors protect humanity against the growing evils of chaos and the constant menace presented by the orcs, goblins, skaven, and other monstrous
they got their glowing lances.
That threatens mankind's survival. In the direst of hours, the Knights of Bretonnia ride like an avalanche against the foe. They carry their honor and their strength, and no enemy shall stand before them.
We seek the monsters.
I knew Norska. It's gonna be like Norse-esque. I knew it.
That you fear the most.
Is that like a Tyrannid thing?
Far to the north.
Oh no, it's just bones. That actually looks like a Lord of Change, kind of. The very bird-like skull, there's two heads connect to one body, it looks like. That looks like a Lord of Change, or something Tzeentchian. It's a frost dragon? Yeah, hard to tell. It doesn't have skin on it anymore. It's kind of frozen. It's having a bad day.
Of the old world, in the blighted region known as the Chaos Wastes, dark energy bleeds from a gaping wound in the fabric of reality.
Oh.
Raging gales of energies howling down from the ancient ruins of the fallen Polar Gate, resting at the very heart of the northern Chaos Wastes, make their way into the world.
Wow, they've got lots
Norska is amongst the regions most affected by it, mainly because of its proximity to the Chaos Wastes. As such, no sane human being would be able to survive in this harsh wasteland with their sanity intact.
So they're crazy.
It is for this reason that most, if not all, the tribes of Norska are affected to some extent by the power of chaos.
Yep. Are these elephants? Or another variation name of a massive elephant? I think elephant is Lord of the Rings. Or it's just a mammoth. Okay.
Causing their flesh to warp and mutate.
Oh, there's the dragon.
Of their gods, and their minds to be plunged into the darkest depths of the most violent insanity. The Northmen are barbarous and savage, worshipping outlandish gods and living lives that are altogether harsh and primitive. They have no time for plough or sickle, for their tools are the axe, the sword, and the shield. What their own lands cannot provide, they simply take from the lands of lesser men by brute force. Norska and the Northlands is a grim and shadowy land, where the weak do not live long. And living means a constant fight for survival, supremacy, and the chance to appease the gods.
He should have picked up his sword. He probably knows that dragging his sword on the ground is going to blunt his blade and make him kill less people. Man, it looks cool, but you're less effective in the future.
War among tribes is common in this giant, icy graveyard. To the Northmen, there is no greater honor than to fight and perish in the armies of chaos under the gaze of the gods. To become a mighty warrior, offering up the deaths of those they slay on the battlefield with each passing day. Though the vast majority die in the attempt, there will occasionally emerge a warrior strong and driven enough to be chosen by the gods as one of their.
Oh, I hate that. I almost didn't notice this. It has teeth inside, like, so it's got claws on the end of its trunk, but it has teeth within the nostrils. So chat, imagine your nose currently, Imagine it has little teeth inside your nose. I don't know how that's super helpful. It works as like a filtering system, it seems like, but I guess if you're grabbing an enemy, you can just like bite it. Maybe it has like a special mouth and it bites it that way. But it probably has a different anatomy. I'm thinking about this way too much. My father has always said to my sibling and I, because my sibling and I, we like to take fictional things like, well, that doesn't make sense because this, and this, and usually it's because we've paused the show and we talk about it. And my dad will turn to us and be like, hey, you two, please be quiet. It's just a movie. It's fiction. It's literally fiction. It doesn't matter. It's not real. It's not real. It's called suspension of disbelief for a reason. Yeah, but like we like our things to be logical. We want them to kind of make sense. Like you want, for the most part, lore that makes sense. You don't want it just to be like feel like it's been made up on the spot. You want something that is, for the most part, consistent and makes sense with like the current lore of whatever you're dealing with. Spider Dad, it's not real. Aurelia, it's real to me. Yeah, it's usually about like dumb stuff, like dumb TV shows. They're like, oh, but if like they did this and this and this, then it's like, shh, just be quiet, just enjoy it, just don't think, don't think about it. We talk about it later. Yeah, I could tell it's a woolly mammoth touched by chaos, but like, that's scary. And would it actually have would it be able to produce the suction force required to suck up a person? Or, oh, no, chat, probably what the best way to do it is to grab your victim. You grab your victim in like the torso area, and you can't suck him all up because he's too big. What you do is that it'll start to sniff and inhale, and then it can like take out like some of his organs that way from like the softer, unarmored part. The teeth impale you and drag you upward through muscle movements and spasms, but then you're breathing through your mouth. You're not breathing through your nose anymore. Breathing through your nose is actually really, really helpful because you don't always want your mouth open. It is an animal. It doesn't seem very effective to me.
Champions. When chaos is ascendant, the men of the North are more willing to put aside their rivalries and disputes. As word spreads of a coming conflict, the tribes gather together in a great marauding horde under the command of a fell champion of chaos, who they will follow to the corners of the world in the name of conquest. Now, more than ever, they march forth, and the dreaded war horns of the North can be heard all across the world.
It's canon. All the high elves, they sing. They just sing. They just sing. 1 second. Whoa.
High above the other races of the world, the High Elves are the most noble of all the creations of the Old Ones. They are one of the most
Hang on. Sorry, I don't know why it's doing that.
Powerful
Go back.
antitions of the old ones.
There we go. That was weird. I don't know why it was doing
Elves
that.
are the most noble of all the creations of the old ones. They are one of the most powerful and ancient civilizations of the entire world. Nimble in combat, pristine when it comes to diplomacy, and wielders of powerful magic, they dominate their enchanted home continent of Ulthuan, and have influences far beyond and across the world. In the climax of the first invasion of Chaos, the elves were the ones that created the Great Vortex, and with it, they casted the excess energies of chaos out of the world.
Oh, that's pretty cool, though. That's super cool. That they causes more problems. Yeah, I mean it's Warhammer. What do you expect?
Effectively saving it. A long time ago, the race of the elves was united as one, and there were no dark, high, or wood elf, but only a single kingdom. Eventually, a bloody civil war raged amongst them by the betrayal of Malekith, and the race of the elves was forever divided.
Why does that name sound familiar? Malekith. I don't know where that... I've heard that name, but I'm not sure where I've heard it. I'm gonna have to look it up later. I'm not sure, because it's not... I don't think it's Warhammer. I feel like it's... Malekith is a boss in Elden Ring. I haven't played Elden Ring. Norse mythology. That might be where it is. He's also a baddie in Marvel. Well, okay, I'll have to figure out where I've heard it from, because I don't know which one. No, it's Malekith from... It's from Thor 2. It's from Thor 2. Malekith is one of the... I don't know if they call him a dark elf. But he's the bad guy. That's how I know. Malekith is dark elves in mythology. Yep, that's where I've heard it from. That's where I heard it. Thank you, chat. Thank you, chat. I appreciate it.
They waged a war of epic proportions with the dwarfs in the conflict known as the War of the Beard. Thousands upon thousands of known as the
War of the Beard. And this decided whether or not elves could have beards in the future, and the bearded elves lost. They lost, chat. And now elves can no longer grow facial hair. Or chest hair.
Epic proportions with the dwarfs in the conflict known as the War of the Beard. Thousands upon thousands of lives were lost for both factions, and the bloodshed was terrible. In the end, the elves were driven off the old world, and the dwarfs went back to the mountains after the earth shook to its core. Tyrion and Teclis, brothers in blood and in arms, sail forth to expand the interests of Ulthuan and ready their defenses in the continent. While Teclis is an extremely renowned mage, Tyrion is, perhaps, the best sword fighter alive. Their might is rivaled by none, and together they fight for the fate of the race of the High Elves.
Oh yeah, they look cool.
The armies of the High Elves are a mighty sight to behold in the field of battle, for they are some of the finest craftsmen in the world, and masterful warriors.
Look at those dragons! I saw someone said that they have a lot of dragons, and I counted like at least 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. At least 4. There might have been a 5th or a 6th one over there.
Extremely versatile, they have a solid line holding infantry, spear and archer hybrid, pristine marksmen, rivaled only by their brothers of Athaloran, and devastating cavalry, Their
Look at those
breeds of
squigs.
horses being so good it makes Bretonnian nobles blush with shame.
Oh no, that's a bird. I don't think that's a dragon. That's a dragon, that's a dragon, that's a dragon. That looks like a bird.
And, of course,
Yeah, it's a bird.
they are able to bond with and ride mighty dragons onto...
I'm sold, chat. Absolutely sold. I will be playing this faction. Sold. Sold. You have me. You have me, man. I can ride a dragon. Yes, absolutely. That was like childhood fantasy reading Aragon. I'm like, I want to be a dragon rider so bad. How to Train Your Dragon. All of that. This is it. This is the faction I will be playing. We're done, chat. No more video. This is it. I don't need to know anything else. Aurelia liking elves? Never. It's purely the dragons. It's purely the dragons. It's the dragons, chat.
To the direst of conflicts. Elven mages are quite deadly and versatile casters, not to mention their sheer centuries of experience with the ever-shifting
I want to go back and see the dragons again. I'm sorry. Oh no, that's a phoenix.
Centuries of experience
A phoenix.
with the ever-shifting
gosh.
winds of magic. With their magic...
Yes, the vibes are all here, chat. The vibes are all here. These are the guys. These are the homies. I'm committing. I'm committing, chat. I dubbed the proper dragon princess of Calador. I think you say it. Calador? Calador? Your model is literally perfect to represent that design, not even joking. Well, that is a happy coincidence, because I had no idea. Calador, thank you. No idea, so I'm glad it works out. Ooh. Well, that... Oh, dang. An albino lion. Huh.
attunement comes great beings known as phoenixes,
Yes.
who commit great deeds of elemental slaughter in
Yes.
the name of their mage masters.
Yes.
A well-organized army of high elves
Oh.
acts as a symphony of destruction.
Look
against
at that griffin. Look at, or is it a hippogriff? I can't see the bottom.
any foe that dares to threaten the safety.
Well, now I don't know what the back looks like. What's the back? Is it a horse or is it a lion? Griffin, cool. It's hard to tell with just this to go on.
Of Ulthuan or the
yeah.
elves. Even outside of the field of battle and on the negotiating table, they are something to be feared and admired for, as
This
the
is-
schemes that go on inside high elven courts are worthy of the greatest of poems.
Oh. All right.
Isolated in their dark and
Man, I like those guys. I like the high elves. They have my eye.
cold continent of Nagaroth. The murderous prowess and cruel wickedness of the Dark Elves knows no equals and bounds. They watch the rest of the world with alert and opportunistic eyes, ever looking for a chance to have vengeance and reclaim what is theirs.
Oh, I like the I like this dragon with the snake tongue, the long snaking tongue. I like that. He's cool. Ladies, put some clothes on.
When they draw their swords, one thing is bound to happen. Blood will flow, either from their enemies or from their slaves. They rule the cold seas with their mighty black arcs as they bring terror to every shore of the world.
That sounds horrible.
No matter how distant. It happened that long ago. Malekith tried to take Ulthuan and the title of Phoenix King for himself.
Well,
But the flames of Azurian rejected him in the ritual, consuming him in pain. He was taken away by his followers to be saved, as Malekith was heavily burned and wounded. He was healed by his mother, the great sorceress Morathi, whose
gosh.
beauty is unparalleled. After he recovered,
Imagine your mother is the one who's like the most beautiful woman around. Like, you could get any girl after that, but everyone's gonna be like, no, your mom is just so gorgeous. And everyone's like, your mom, wow. We like your mom. She's so pretty. And you can't get away from that because everyone thinks your mom is attractive. That would be horrible. That would be so horrible. That would suck. Oh my gosh. She's a worshiper of Slaanesh. Oh. Well, that explains some things. Yeah, it's a Stacy's mom sort of thing.
his appearance seemed to reflect his dark and foul soul. Now, many years later, they alone bear rule of the mighty Dark Elves, and seek dominion over everyone and everything, especially their hated cousins of Ulthuan. And they march onwards to war, to reclaim what is rightfully theirs.
Oof. Rip.
When the Dark Elves march, the world trembles.
Oh.
For it comes as an army of dread that revels in the boundless joys of battle. A Dark Elf army is something to behold and fear, for their infantry is versatile and fast, and their monsters, fueled by cruelty and malice, know no bound to their savagery. Their repeater crossbows are deadly.
Their hydras are cool.
Black bolts against their victims from
Oh,
afar.
is he? Oh my gosh, he's got like, look at his tail.
Are deadly and rain.
It has a rattle on it, chat. You can't really see it when I pause it, but like, he's got like a rattle, like a rattlesnake, and he's like wiggling it around like it's a warning. That's cool. Get the little. I've never seen a rattlesnake, but that's what they make. That's the sound they make, like.
Against their victims from afar.
You can like barely hear it. I encourage you to go back and listen to the video when I'm not talking. You can faintly hear the little rattle.
No matter how well armored.
Yeah, you could hear it just then. Is that a sword? Is that a sword in a mountain? I'm sorry. We're gonna go. Get ready for the ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. You'll hear it right now, like right away. I hope you heard it. That's a sword. Is that a head? That looks like a face. That looks like a face. What's the lore about that? Why is there a sword there? Why is that there? Why? Chad, why is this here? Tell me about this. Where do I keep my sword? You know, usually in my scabbard. Why? Where's this from? Because why? Why? Are you gonna become like, is it like the sword in the stone, but like sword in the mountain? And instead of like king of a kingdom, instead of ruling a kingdom, you rule the world if you can pull that sword out of the mountain. I think that's what the new lore should be. If you can pull the sword out of the mountain, you get to rule the whole world. Because that's perfect. Maybe it's from a war between ogres and sky titans. Yeah, the only thing I could think of is that it was an actual sword from like a large being that it just got left there. That is likely the sword from an immense statue that can explode, shattered, but it can also quite literally be some colossal sword from an unknown era that got stabbed into the earth long ago during some ancient battle. How Vague. How vague? That's annoying. I want to know. This seems important, but it also like seems like this might be just a common occurrence. You just find large, massive, mile-long swords in the ground. This is gonna bother me. This is gonna bother me. Oh yeah, ladies, get it. It's cold out there.
The unfortunate survivors that get captured after every battle or raid are taken away in chains to the far lands of Nagaroth to work as slaves and never to be seen again. Their martial prowess is mighty, and their warriors are among the best fighters in the world. For every Dark Elf is highly trained and experienced. When they get their blood flowing after prolonged battles, their skill gets even better, as they tend to enjoy the art of fighting and get into a state of flow with it. Hydras and other beasts.
I like how he said that they get into a state of flow when they fight. They're flowing, chat. They're flowing. You zoom in on it to get the texture. Okay, I could try that later. I'll put it in the Discord. I'll go back and I'll go to the Discord and I'll screenshot it because I want to know. I would like to know if there is an answer.
Are whipped into battle, and even mighty dragons are not free from being abused into fighting for their cruel masters. Their vast dominion over the seas is imposed by the use of cruel corsairs and black arcs. Entire strongholds.
That is a cool looking ship,
with
though.
The power of dark magic, who are able to fire deep within the sea into land battles.
How? Like, here's my thing, chat. How do you know if something's evil if it's not super spiky? Chaos, spiky. Dark elves, Drukhari, and the like. Spikes. If something is evil, it's gonna have spikes on it, chat.
Reinforce armies on the go, and even carry uncountable slaves to do the dirty work of the powerful and wicked Dark Elves. The Dark Elves now see the state of the world as the perfect opportunity to strike and reclaim their land and have vengeance in the process. Will the Dark Elves achieve what they have been plotting for hundreds of years? Or will they need to form unlikely alliances to fight even greater enemies?
A good question.
From the massive jungle continent of...
These are the guys that I've heard are like kind of like where you should like start in terms of fantasy lore. That's I got a recommendation from someone that's where I should start. So I'm looking forward to hearing about the lizard men. I don't know. This guy looks like a dinosaur, but yeah, this is where I've heard you should start. I have no idea, but they're the oldest race, so that's probably why.
Lustria, the lizard men guard their sacred...
so they ride lizards, big lizards, but they're little lizards. Got it.
Temples, and they are on a permanent quest of finding and interpreting the long-lost plaques of their race.
They make me think of kobolds from Dungeons and Dragons, which I don't take seriously at all. I played a one-shot one time with a friend and then his brother, and it was a chaotic one-shot. It was so funny because we were both kobolds, and I was a alligator-looking kobold called Grimmel, and let me tell you, I was a savage little guy. It was so funny. I was like 3 feet tall, and it was chaos. We were fighting amongst each other over loot. It was hilarious. It was like the funniest session because a dark power was manipulating us to do his bidding, and we had no idea because we had really low intelligence stats, but it was so funny. So I can't take kobolds seriously. So I feel bad because this is like an old and distinguished race. But I look at them and I'm like, ah, yes, little kobolds. It's probably a little mean.
Clues that point to the world order set many ages ago by the Old Ones, the creators of it all.
The old ones.
When the polar gate collapsed and the demons crossed over the bridge into the mortal plane, the Slan promptly united their psychic might to seal off the portals in an attempt to hold back the coming of chaos. Alas, half of them were crushed by the shattering, mind-breaking force during their colossal effort. The survivors of the initial assault turned to their creators for guidance.
Oh, look at them.
Only to find them vanished from the planet.
Look at those guys.
The Old Ones had departed, leaving their creations behind and the world to its fate. Through the ages, as the most ancient of races, they have stood defiant against the encroaching darkness that seems to come for them.
Oh, look at that. That is so cool. The tails, but like the bird wings. I like it. Does it ever land? Or does it just keep flying perpetually? I have questions. Coatl? I think that's how you say it. I've heard that before. It might be a regular mythology term, but I don't know how it lands, but I'd love to know.
And the entire world alike. Theirs is the sacred duty of protecting and securing the world against the primordial enemy and to cleanse the taint of chaos from all the lands. The cold-blooded reptilians do not fight for power, territory, or any other petty cause. As the ultimate enemies of the dark gods and the forces of chaos, the lizard men act as a single-minded force of destruction that will stop at nothing to halt the presence of the ruinous powers or any other foe that interferes with the fulfilling of the great plan.
I like these guys.
Now
They've got like good vibes. I don't know. I like them. Maybe the kobold is like bleeding over. The Coatl hovers closer to the ground in game. It doesn't really land. I just want to know in general, too, if it lands. I need a report on the Coatl stat. I need to know everything there is to know about it immediately. Immediately.
Final battle for the world is upon them. They unite as a truly destructive force to be reckoned with. After all, a large portion of the population of their race was spawned for the sole purpose of warfare and violent combat. To protect the world from destruction and erase any threat to the creation. The forces of the lizard men are formed by diverse species that excel in different abilities.
He got web feet.
Emotion and are fueled by primal instincts. These cold-blooded killers are by design disciplined and focused creatures that act perfectly as a united force.
It kind of makes me think like about Necrons in a way. Like in an odd way, it makes me think about that. I don't know.
The lizard men are the true inheritors of the planet. Their sacred duty is to fulfill the great plans of the mysterious beings known as the Old Ones, and to eradicate all who get in their way. Since they were created, they have been at the forefront of the battle for the world's survival.
I do like the Mesoamerican vibes. It's a really neat way to look at it. And I think someone said the Coatl is they're from Central America. And they slither. Oh. Oh, that's kind of neat. Oh, chat. I know Skaven are popular, and they're the rats. At least I think they're the rats.
The Skaven are a malevolent race of rat-men that lurk in the shadows and the deepest of tunnels. They watch, wait, and scheme, biding their time until the moment comes when they will rise up from the bowels of the world and claim the entirety of the surface for themselves. There is no land unspoiled by this foul race, with the sole exception of the enchanted continent of Ulthuan, the inhabitants of which go to extreme measures to maintain the incantation required to avoid such infestation. It is said that their vast empire stretches for untold miles beneath the earth. Their society is divided into several great clans, each ruled by a powerful Skaven collectively known as the Lords of Decay.
Oh.
Most of the time they are said to fight amongst themselves, like the rabid rats they are. But sometimes they set their bickerings aside.
I liked how he rolled his R's there. The rabid rats. I can't roll my R's. But that was cool.
And wage against other inhabitants of the world. When the rat host goes to battle, they muster the innumerable hordes of the warlord clans and their machines and beasts of battle. Each of the greater clans has its own armaments and foul methods to wage war. The clan known as Molder are powerful beastmasters and use magical warpstone to breed and mutate ferocious fighting beasts.
Oh.
Clan Eshin are feared assassins and stealthy murderers. It is
sneaky
said that
boys.
No one can escape their reach.
Oh,
Clan
that looks
Scryer
sick.
are known as warlock engineers, masters of an insane blend of magic and science. Clan Pestilens are also known as the Plague Monks. They are disciples of disease and initiates of infection. As instructed by their god, the Plague Monks are dedicated to spreading pestilence and plague amongst the cities of men. There are many warlords amongst the Skaven. Cowards, all of them. But perhaps there is one who betrays that notion. Queek Headtaker, amongst the beings cited in the Great Book of Grudges. There are few who rival this warlord of Clan Moors, and he fights with vermin blood over the lordship of Karak Eight Peaks. But his ambition knows no limits, and his armies deface the earth. Notable, too, is a leader of Clan Pestilence armies, Lord Skrulk, a blighted being who harms the universe with his mere existence, and his presence defiles the souls of men and beyond.
Ew.
But they are too, perhaps, some of the best inventors amongst all of the races, and their weaponry uses warpstone as fuel and ammo, having devastating effects, rending armor and flesh alike. Monsters are kin to the vermin, and they march together at the tip of a barbed whip and worse.
Let's kill!
Who is the one to tell where the Skaven will surface next? Can a hero rise and contain these foul beings? Or will they drown the world in an unstoppable vermintide?
Cheese Tex. The cheese Tex. I want to play Vermintide.
There was once a time when the ancient
So Necrons. Fantasy Necrons now, chat, huh?
kingdom of Nehekara stood as the crown of the human civilization of the world. A golden age when its cities shone with majestic splendor, its armies conquered entire nations, and its kings ruled as living gods among men.
I don't know, chat.
But
This
great realm was razed millennia ago through treachery and sorcery. The living perished in an instant, and the dead rose from their tombs.
So yes. So yeah.
This is the land of the dead, where mummified kings are cursed to rule in a living death. They feel no fear, They have no mercy, and over the sands of time and death they rule. Kings of empires, thousands of years old, rise again to make true the wishes of nigh-forgotten gods.
So, like, the kings from the past, do they all, like, raise up at the same time and then make war on each other because they each were kings in their own right, so they each want to be in charge and they don't want to have to answer to anyone else? That's a legit question. Do all the kings pop up all at once, or do they all initially rose up at the same time and a civil war broke out? Okay, cool, good. I wondered if that was going to be the case, or if, the curse was nice and it, like, raised them individually, so if one king died, then another one would come. People would be like, oh, this is another guy we respected and loved, so. Then the big bad Tomb King woke up and smacked the crap out of everyone. Oh. The big bad Tomb King. So Necrons are space Tomb Kings. Got it. Okay. Okay. Good to know. Some saw it as a curse and some saw it as a gift. Okay. Yeah, I guess a second chance of life is nice, but if you wanted to die, then, like, yeah, I would be inclined to keep living if I wanted to stay dead.
Indeed, among the Tomb Kings stand individuals so powerful, so influential in their conquests, that they can be rivaled only by beings such as Sigmar Heldenhammer or Anarion the Phoenix King. And they stand on the annals of time as gods amongst mortals.
Our true king will show them. We do not serve. We rule.
Oh, I love the fire on the wheels. Oh, get wrecked. Oh, the snakes. Is that a manticore? Oh, you're hosed. Oh, you're hosed, man. Oh, are these the guys with the big bows? With the big bow. The skelly bone. Skelly man with the giant bows.
There is no doubt who amongst the undead is the King of Kings. When he
They're answering my
his
questions.
Hand, it is to command the incredibly vast armies of the tomb.
I will say this video is really, really good. A lot of the questions that I've had, aside ones like, oh, it was like a background thing, like, hey, why is there a sword in that mountain? During like a gameplay, like, this guy has answered all my questions. Like, the surface level questions that I have, like, I was like, so did they all wake up at once and fight each other? And he's like, no, there's no question. This guy is the king among kings and, like, among the other Tomb Kings and other stuff. Like, I've said questions and not, like, 2 seconds later, he answers them. This is a very good video. Please go follow the Book of Choyer. He's done a really good job on this video. I really like it. Go follow him and like this video. I'm gonna I'll do it on my other account and I'll sign in. But yes, like this video. This is great.
Tomb Kings, and even mountains crumble beneath his will of iron. Cetra the Imperishable, Great Unifier, Opener of the Way, the undisputed Master of all horizons, Mighty Emperor of the Sands, God Tamer, and owner of 1,000 more titles.
What god did he tame? I need to know.
When the King of Kings goes to war, the world quakes in fear. Long ago, he expanded an empire as far as the sun touched, and he was the greatest king of men. But that time has long ago.
Let me see the arrows. Oh, there it is in the background.
To reclaim
he shot an arrow.
In battle, their warriors march with unrelenting will in the face of everything, ready to take what
The
is
snakes. Ooh, that's pretty neat. Oh my, one of my mods, oh my gosh, sent me a list of this guy's titles. It is so long, the list. If only. You know what, chat? I would like my name to be this long in the future. As we add more achievements, I would like my name to be that long in the future. That would be so great. Custody's gotten the idea of the names and titles from Cetras. Oh. Oh. If that's true, that's kind of cool. I wouldn't have guessed that.
Is rightfully theirs. It is known that the true and outstanding element of any
Oh, there you go.
army is
He's
their
just shooting.
constructs.
Look at that.
Warriors who long ago were honored to be buried in giant ritualistic statues, who then came to life with their souls. Sphinxes, Ushapti, tomb scorpions, and the dreaded Aero Titans crush their enemies as they advance in the field of battle, conquering all in the name of their masters. Rising from their sarcophagi, the mummified tomb kings
This snake has a goatee. He has a little goatee. That's adorable. Look at that. He's got his big old fangs and he's like, check out my goatee. Thank you, Scion of the Emperor, for the super chat. I also recommend checking out Cody Bond's Noob's Guide series on Total War, Warhammer's Legendary Lords and Heroes. Okay, this is like a whole new area I'm getting into, so honestly, there's so much to check it out. That's a cat? Where are his ears? Where are his ears, chat? It looks like a snake. Where are the ears? Where are the ears? I don't see any ears. Okay, if it's a sphinx, but like, in my defense, it's hard to see the shape of it. It looks odd. It's a skeleton. It's hard to see. There's the sand. It's in my eyes. I hate sand. It's coarse and it gets everywhere. Okay. I like his little goatee, regardless that he's like a sphinx. That's fine. I still like it.
possess the same thirst for conquest that drove them in life, and their innumerable servants are fully devoted to their kings. They now fight to restore their vast empires to its former majesty, striking forth from the desert to reclaim the world of the living.
Dun dun dun! Oh, Vampire Coast. So we have underwater vampires, and you thought you were afraid of sharks eating you while you were swimming at the beach. Instead, be afraid of swimming vampires. Do they have, like, mermaids? I bet you they employ sharks.
Located in the eastern shore of the continent of Lustria, and facing the great ocean, the Vampire Coast has become a place of constant war between the lizard men and the undead. The pirate king, known as Luther Harken, has made the coast his domain. The pirate terrorizes the seas.
Oh, I'm disappointed. I thought he was gonna be like underwater vampire. No, he's just a vampire on a boat. Man, that's an opportunity wasted. Wasted. I want to see a vampire swim through the water at me and be absolutely terrifying.
In search of new servants to put under his command. His mind is an insane mix of personalities, all blending into each without warning, and sparking the bold and unpredictable actions of the Pirate King, for which he is known for.
Okay.
Under his command, the undead hordes continue to swell their ranks with every passing day, and their quest for power continues. Luther Harkin faces opposition from the Lizardmen and other races that inhabit Lustria and the high seas, but armed with a mighty and numerous army, the Pirate King and his followers continue to terrorize the Vampire Coast and the Great Ocean.
Important question. Do they, so you know, traditional vampires usually are in castles and they have like cool organs, like the pipe organs. Do they keep up with the theme on the ships, like Davy Jones, the big like pipe organ on the ship? Because they really should, because that's a vibe. That is a vibe. They got to keep that. But like, imagine like gothic pipe organ sea shanties. They probably sound more like a funeral dirge, a funeral rite or something like that. But that would be, that would be great. That would be great. I need that.
With every battle won and every temple ravaged, Luther Harkin grows his roots deeper
there's more
in the
stuff.
realm of the Lizard Men, expanding their withering blight through the Vampire Coast and beyond. With time, the Lizard Men have pushed back, only to be attacked again by the undead hordes in a war without a visible end. But as the world comes to a conflict of scales never before seen, the forces of the Vampire Coast will have to fight to defend their hard-won territory.
Wait a sec. Is that a ship with legs and arms? What is he doing there? What is he doing, chat? He's got... It is. So my eyes do not deceive me. He's a zombie, but ships aren't sentient. Unless they are. It's held together with flesh and magic. Oh, great. That's horrible. I hate it. Someone send her the Vampirate Sea Shanty video. Oh, good. I'm glad I'm not missing out. I'm happy that I'm going through this because I'm actually learning quite a bit. He's just standing there menacingly. Actually, I don't think he is standing there menacingly. Based on this picture, it looks like he's actually taking a step forward if you look at the positioning of his legs. This leg is stepping forward, and this one he is about to push off once he puts this foot down. So he's not standing, he's actually walking. The Vampirates trailer is in the reaction playlist. Oh, great. Oh, cool, good. We got stuff to watch then. We've got stuff to watch. And there's giant crabs. You talk about this guy with the weird claw and this situation. Oh no, this guy, this crab. Oh my goodness. Hello, buddy. This looks like a lobster though. That looks like a lobster. But hello, buddy. You look very cool. I can't believe I didn't notice that. Hello. I'll give you pets. Huh. Okay then. That's very neat.
Coast will have to fight to defend their hard-won territory, and will even have to make unlikely alliances if they are to survive and play a part in the upcoming tribulations. When facing the enemy, the undead hurl themselves into battle like mindless hordes, trying to overrun their foe. However, the mariners' love for their guns carries into their afterlife. The deck gunners are known to use a wide variety of corroded weapons with questionable accuracy. But the sheer power of these long-ranged firearms have killed many overconfident foes.
Ooh.
The Depth Guard is an elite infantry of the Vampire Coast. Blood Knight warriors, one and all. They are hand-picked by their masters and given the Blood Kiss, rather than being simply raised from the dead like zombies.
Ooh.
Clad in eldritch armor, they are an unstoppable force on the field of battle, unrelenting in their advance. The high seas, the lands of Lustria and beyond are all for the taking of the Pirate King and the endless hordes of undead.
So, the land is for the taking, but like, what if he stops becoming a pirate on the sea? He's gonna run into some issues if he wants to continue to be a pirate, if he wants to take the land as he goes inward. Then that's a problem. My least favorite. I like actually corn is the chillest.
Mankind does not recognize its doom. Not yet.
Ooh.
They
That's a good
only
line.
hear the drums in the north and know that the end is here. Some will fight. Others will abandon reason.
His ships can walk. How hard is it to sail the lands? Well, like, it doesn't look like people were really hanging out on those ships. The crab works, but like, doesn't the crab need water every once in a while? And for the regular ships, I didn't see people hanging out there. Or get 1,000 zombies to carry your ship across the land when you are so... The crab is undead too. Oh. No, but it's cooler when it's like an actual crab, but I guess you gotta make it undead. If you're gonna... It's a branding thing. It's a branding thing, chat. Even though a regular large hermit crab is cool, it's branding. You gotta stick to your undead theme. Where does he get those giant hermit crabs? I want one. I would like one, please.
Seeking salvation in scripture or the scourge, they are deceived. The Dark Brothers are stronger than ever before, and the gods fade. Only in death will any respite be found.
It is more sea.
I don't like that voice.
It was inevitable. Masters of manipulation.
Many times have the Dark Gods breached the barrier between the mortal realms and the immaterial. Each time the death toll is greater and the consequences more dire. Now the Dark Gods have breached the barrier of reality again. And their might is truly terrible.
But I stand praying.
Chaos flows raw into the world like a giant flood. The living beings that have been lost to the dark powers of chaos are now uncountable, and the great bastions and cities of the world die from within. Blood and fire rains from the sky, announcing that the world has come to an end.
Move aside, and I may grant you a gift rarely bequeathed on my other playthings.
Ew! Oh, ew, that's... I did not like that line. That was horrible. I hated it.
And only mildly painful death.
The Dark Gods are now here to harvest it all, and make the world their own hellish battleground, for their appetites are vast, and their power almighty. Vast storms of magic form randomly into the material world, all-consuming vortexes that devour everything in their path, and birth from the warp abominable creatures that should not exist at all.
Ooh, that's so weird. I have seen these trailers, some of these this footage before, because I did react to some of the trailers, and I think we watched all the Chaos God ones. So I am familiar with them, like enough.
All. The legendary lords of chaos,
Ugh.
terrible manifestations of the dark chaos gods, now walk this world. And they will not stop until everything is ash, until everything is consumed, and they have brought with them a declaration of death to us all. A terrible force has gathered in the north, in numbers beyond measuring.
What's with the chaos gods and the tongues? Like, can we stop with the tongues? See, this is why I like Khorne. He's not like flexing his tongue at you. He's not all like, like, no. He's just like, okay, I'm gonna bare my teeth at you and maybe roar, but I'm not about to do weird things with my tongue. Disgust. Bleh.
Gathering of darkness like never before. These are the armies of chaos, and they now march against us. A special thanks to all the recent Patreons and the YouTube channel members that have joined us over the last few weeks.
Yes, I like my chaos sterile and at a minimum of fluids. Yes, I would prefer 0 fluids at all. Like zero fluids, which means non-existent. No fluids. I've said before, if I was going to fall to a chaos god, I would prefer Khorne. The other ones, no. No, thank you.
Your support enables the channel to keep making videos like these. If you want to join us, you can do so by checking out the link in the description below. We thank you for watching. Far north of the Empire, in a place where constant blizzards and icy winds blow relentlessly,
look at
lies
the
the
polar
great
bear.
bastion of humanity that stands like a rock against the ever-growing tide of chaos.
Khorne is the most fluids. I mean, I would prefer minimum. Like, he wants all the blood, but I would like the fluids not inside all the people. Outside. I want the fluids on the outside, or non-existent.
Against the stubborn Kislevites, the forces of chaos have clashed again and again in conflicts that have stained the lands and painted rivers red with blood.
Oof. Oh, there's your blood letters.
The border is harder to defend. Each year the toll of death is greater. But to the Kislevites, this is a price they are willing to pay. The north is their homeland, and if they cannot live there, they will die there.
Steady your hearts, brothers and sisters of Kislev. The motherland protects. Embrace her, and we will see victory!
I love the Russian. That's
With
excellent.
the leadership of their Ice Queen, Katarine, the armies of Kislev stand proud and firm, ready to defend their homeland with blood and steel once again. The Queen has mustered all her forces and marches to war in the front lines. The vast power she holds comes from the motherland itself.
Oh, this is so cool. Thank you very much. Dang it, where'd my mouse? Thank you very much, Sotek. Thank you very much for coming. You definitely helped provide some additional points of clarification. Thank you for hopping in, and thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you being here. And I'll have to check out some of your streams sometime and see what you're up to over there. So thank you for coming over. Definitely had a lot of fun. So have a good night, and thank you for hanging out so long. You've probably been here for like 2 hours, I think. It's been a bit. So thank you very much. And well, we're almost done here. We've been streaming for 3 hours and we have 7 minutes left. But knowing me, I'll stretch it out for another hour.
And she walks mighty as a reincarnation of the first Khan Queen Mishka. But the menace that comes from beyond this time is different. Like a black sea that devours it all, the fire that burns in the hearts of the Kislevites are only dim lights against the encroaching darkness of chaos. Standing as the beacon of humanity, the light fades against what is to come. Before the men of the Empire, before the riders of Bretonia and the proud dwarves of the mountains, the Kislevites face first the terrible legions of the Dark Gods.
She's like, I will defend my country and my homeland, and it will follow me as I fight. That's a vibe. She just slides around on the ice.
And their demonic creatures that now roam the lands. Being the masters of both the cold of winter and the art of warfare, the stubborn Kislevite will clash in the middle of the storm, and by their motherland, they will emerge victorious, or they will die in the snow. The very mountains themselves shake to their core, for even the world itself knows that the end is nigh. The wild and feral creatures that roam the high peaks, and the ones that hide in the darkness of the deepest of caves alike, they are all sensing the shift in the winds, and are becoming more wrathful. Increased volcanic activity can be felt all across the entire mountain range. It is very well known that the mountains of Morn are rife with volcanoes and occasional eruptions, but it seems now that the world is shaking from within. Smoke rises incessantly across the mountains, and the clouds above the lands of the ogres are now dark. Dark whispers and unsettling echoes can be heard over the valleys, and as the creatures increase their attacks to satiate their bloodlust, the ogres are drawn to defend their homeland from the rising tide of chaos. A few tribes have now pledged their allegiance to the Dark Gods. With promises of food, plunder, and riches, they have abandoned their homes and traveled north, disappearing into the growing storms. The majority of the ogre kingdoms, however, would fight against chaos and any other force that would threaten their existence.
Oh, so they don't care. They'll just fight
Greasus
whoever.
Goldtooth, the ogre tyrant of the ogre kingdoms, knows that the time of feasting has ended, that the time for war is now. As the caves collapse and ancient rock formations crumble, as the earth shakes and the volcanoes spit their fire and rage to the sky, the ogres mobilize for war. A great migration has begun for the ogres, and the consequences will be felt by all civilizations of the world.
A bruise is giddy. Now, we're gonna
Was that a
swallow
fart
it up,
noise?
chew on his eyeballs, and throw his nags into the fire now. Right, let's get to it!
To the far east of the world, beyond the Dark Lands, across the mountains of Morn, in the vast territories of Grand Cathay, there is a concerning imbalance in the air that can be felt by immortals and all-powerful dragons alike. Throughout history, the lands of Grand Cathay have been attacked on innumerable occasions,
the floating
damaged, and even
lands.
sometimes breached. But still, the Great Bastion stands as a powerful vanguard against the forces of the Dark Gods, as it is constantly maintained and garrisoned by massive armies. But now, even that seems to not be enough to stop the coming storm of death and fire that approaches.
We have suffered enough.
The harmony of the Cathayan way of life is ever present, their forces acting in concert with deadly efficiency to lay waste to the armies of chaos that constantly assail them. But the calm that characterizes Grand Cathay is facing the greatest of threats, as chaos is ascending like never before, and the creatures from the warp now walk the world, threatening to devour it all. As the drums of war sound across the land,
I like the lantern chips too. Those look really nice.
Within, and the dark armies amass before the Great Bastion. Grand Cathay is bound to face its biggest challenge yet. The defense of the realm, the future of Grand
I
Cathay.
really do like the landscape. This is like so pretty. I love it.
And the world lies in their hands. The burden is heavy, and the dark portents that choke the land are undeniable. The world is now submerged in a storm of dark magic that flows freely into the mortal planes. The factions that inhabit the world must unite and fight against the encroaching enemy, or else they will be reaped from the earth. Will the might of humanity be able to resist one more time against the forces of chaos? Or will the dark gods and their terrible armies of rage and madness finally succeed in despoiling everything that exists? Immortal Empires is a campaign like no other. The world itself is the massive battlefield on which this cataclysmic war will be fought, as each race contends to reach immortal glory. With so many powerful races and unique factions, each with their own weaponry, legendary lords, mastery of the arcane arts, ways of doing diplomacy, and each pursuing different objectives, who will remain when the burning war for the world is finally over? Who will stand alone as the victor of the Immortal Empires campaign? That is for you to decide.
Oh.
On this channel, we are...
What a very good video. I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed that video. And we made pretty good time. 3 hours for a video that's 1:10 long. I love that, yeah. Go follow, oh, my hand. Go follow the Book of Choyer. Really good video. I feel like I had a great time talking with all of you as like things came up, and I feel like I learned quite a bit. Don't quiz me on it. Don't quiz me on it, but at least for like starting and understanding all the different races and factions, oh my gosh. This is very, very cool. Have I watched any of the DLC or release trailers for Total Warhammer? Yeah, I actually have. It was probably like a month and a half ago that I did. I watched a good chunk of the trailers. Not all of them, but I watched a good amount. But I really enjoyed it. Now it's to like choose what factions I really want to like go in and like study and become obsessed with. And I really like the High Elves. It's a lot. It's a lot. But let's see. There's some more. I do have like a playlist that one of my mods has kind of put together with some memes and trailers that we could look at. My only question is whether or not they whether or not I will even understand the if I will even understand the fantasy memes. Because that would kind of suck if they went over my head, because I don't really know enough. So that's my only thing. I'm like, I don't know actually if I'll understand the memes, and I want to be able to know and react. And not beating the elf allegations, I just like them. I didn't know what they were about until they showed up. I was like, oh, their armor's kind of cool. And then my mod told me, oh, yeah, they're elves. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. And then they were explaining their law. I'm like, oh, I really like that. But what I like the best is that they get to ride the dragons. They get to ride the dragons into battle. And that is the part that I like. I really like it. I do have another video. It is Age of Sigmar factions. Every Age of Sigmar faction in under 25 minutes. Should be different in theory. Do we want to watch that? We can watch that. Do we want to watch that, chat? Have I looked at the Lumith? No, I have not. This is like the first time I've ever looked at anything Warhammer. Like Warhammer Fantasy. This is like the first time. So So we'll watch this one.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen.
This one is by... And I think this is the one that I found that had like the most views and was like more recent. I have no idea. Yeah. So we'll watch this one. Yeah. Age of Sigmar is slightly different to fantasy. So yeah, we'll see what this is about. And we'll go from there. How about that? James Norland cheer. I'm just reading. James, thank you for the bits. Please go watch the Vampire Coast trailer. It's only 3 minutes. Okay. Onyx, would you mind sending that to me? Just send that to me, and then I'll play it after this.
Gentlemen, today we will be speeding through all the factions in Age of Sigmar because you and I both have nothing better to do. This video is 100% serious and was constructed with utmost nuance and accuracy in mind, so if I say something questionable, just consider it as fact. Without further ado, let's start with the poster boys, the Sigmarines. When you die in the mortal realms, the god Sigmar grabs your soul from the ether and plops your balls on the scale of apotheosis. If they turn out big enough, Sigmar will tear your soul apart, infuse it with lightning magic, and reforge you into a magical gold-clad paladin known as a Stormcast Eternal. His goal
This seems very memey. Should I find something else that's better for next time? Should I find a more serious one before I do the meme one? Okay. If you say so, I'll keep watching it.
glow up comes with cool powers such as Space Marine armor, the ability to ride the lightning, and discount immortality. I say discount immortality because as long as it doesn't hinder the plot, Sigmarines lose a piece of their personality every time they use the respawn button. These newborn heroes travel forth into the realms to throw lightning hammers at anything Sigmar deems offensive, such as chaos, blood sacrifices, and slavery. Unless the Daughters of Cain do it, but don't worry, that's just part of their culture. Next up is the Second Amendment. The Sis of Sigmar is a loose term for the man with a gun, the elf with a bow, or the dwarf with a cannon. Basically, any mortal willing to pick up arms for the cause is welcome, leading to a large diversity both within and between the mortal militias. These armies have two tasks. One is to defend their city against the many forces looking to conquer it for territory, slaves, souls, or simply because they have nothing better to do. And with the list of enemies being longer than my backlog, this is already quite a challenge. Their other purpose is to travel into the Australian hellscape of the mortal realms for some good old colonialistic conquering. For this they often cooperate with the Sigmarines, as everything in these realms can and will kill you. And if it doesn't, it's most likely suffering from depression, having realized there's no point in killing you, since outside the walls you will die sooner than a Kriegsman during gun training.
Okay, I really like that he includes 40k lore, like 40k jokes in this. This is great.
From a more meta perspective, the cities are made up out of every Warhammer Fantasy faction that wasn't reworked for Age of Sigmar. This has left them underpowered both in lore and on tabletop, making it necessary for them all to work together against the overwhelming darkness. But hey, at least they aren't retcons such as the Bretonnians. Talking about neglect, let's do the dwarves next. Have you ever wanted to be part of a group of naked, homoerotic, macho dwarves?
Okay, look at his tattoo. Look at that tattoo. That looks sick. Look at that. Goes around his thighs. I like his tattoo.
Dwarves with an obsession for self-harm? No, me neither, but the Fire Slayers are there if you need them. During the Age of Myth, their daddy Grimnir decided to fight the biggest magma draw he could find, but bit of a little more than he could chew. Sure, he managed to kill the fucker, but not before he got bended over so hard that his essence got blasted all over the mortal realms.
Oh! Oh my gosh!
This event made a lot of dwarves angry and is widely regarded as a bad move. These angry dwarves then decided that they should resurrect Papa and set out on the ridiculously difficult grind to find his pieces. Please don't think about it too much, but his essence got absorbed by gold, and as a result a small portion of the gold in the realms actually contained some Grimnir bits within. So
oh my gosh. Don't think about it too much, chat.
in order to get Daddy to come back from the milk store, they have to not only access and filter all the gold in the mortal realms, but also free the spirit, which involves beating the gold into your skin and entering into a superpowered berserker range, during which you have to kill as many enemies as possible. Considering that
so they inlay the gold into their skin. Oh, that's interesting.
Gold and murder are the only things they want in life. Most nowadays live together in large mercenary groups stationed in hollowed out volcanoes. Because of course, with the current gas prices, it just made the most sense. To be honest, I'm personally still on the fence whether the power metal dwarves have the coolest or by far the dumbest backstory of all the races. But I'll leave you to decide on that. Anyways, on the other side of the dwarf spectrum, there's the capitalistic, atheist extremist corporation of the Cateron overlords. It's not so much that the Cateron don't think that gods exist, it's just
when you're a god of magic, but you can't break the spell of a dusty old skeleton and your body keeps turning to ash. What? Probably wonder why you're here. You're here because you've messed up too many times. Okay?
that they're real sick and tired of their bullshit. And after concluding that all of the issues of the past 100 millennia have been caused by gods, wizards and other magical bullshit, they decided to renounce it all and put their faith in the holy trinity of money, science and gunpowder. Luckily for them, they found a magical rock called Ether Gold, with which they managed to create floating steampunk ships and weaponry that would give even Clan's Crier a run for their money. Another thing they renounced was countries, and instead all Cateron are part of the species-wide company held together by the Cateron Pirate Code. This code...
It's not a company, we're family. We're family. It's like with the corporate... corporate America, it's like, oh, we're not just a store, we're not just a company, we're family.
Code offers a solution of what should be done in any given scenario in order to maximize profits for the Cateron race. These Bezos dwarves have quite literally replaced ethics with money and gods with gunpowder, which makes them pretty based overall. But best of all, the Sons of Behemoth audio drama has confirmed that they sound just as robotic and high-pitched as Warcraft mechanomes. Seriously, you should give a listen to it, it's fucking hilarious. But if that wasn't wacky enough for you, then there's always the cyborg Aztec dinosaur terminators known as a Seraphon. So for the Seraphon, you gotta know that there are two sort of types of lizardmen.
Aww,
There are the real...
He's round. I like him. He's round.
Lizardmen, and there are the fake lizardmen. What happens is that some fat frogs landed without any of their dino buddies and thus get really lonely.
Oh yeah, those look like the old ones.
They started to make imaginary friends.
Yep.
But this got a bit out of hand, and soon these Walmart shoppers had dreamed up entire armies of imaginary magic space dinosaurs. Still bored, they then put these armies on spaceships and dropped these prehistoric armadas on unsuspecting chaos-filled Protoss style. Meanwhile, the other Dino Boys are exactly the same as the Lizardmen of old. The coalesced follow the great plan, like building Aztec jungles, microwaving demons, and pretty much just do their own thing as long as you don't get in their way. Next up is the category of what the fuck Florida elves, which ranges from autistic murder trees to vampire mermaids.
Is that a shark?
Starting with the autistic Greenpeace elves, which ranges from autistic
That's a shark thing. It's a shark.
Murder trees to vampire mermaids. Starting with the autistic Greenpeace rioters of the Sylvanet, a train wreck of a race caused by the mentally challenged god of life, Auriel. During the Age of Myth, Auriel found a self-help book, which told her to go back to her roots. Being the genius that she is, she then decided to bury her share of elven souls in the forest, ergo bringing them back to her roots. A little while later, her pursuits bore fruit as a wide variety of tree elf hybrids started rising from the soil, collectively raising the our monster gold traffic by over 200%. Another highlight from the self-help book advised her to live in harmony. She then created a species-wide communication system that operates via magical songs, so that all the Sylvanet could join and live in the harmony. For how stupid it sounds, it actually worked quite well, until our speaker system broke during the Age of Chaos.
Oof.
This caused many groves to lose connection and to start singing out of tune, which is a euphemism for...
And they really became monster girls,
executing capital punishment upon anyone who steps on a flower. Most insane among these crazy nets is Draika, who has quite literally started a holocaust against anything that isn't a tree.
That's kind of scary.
Dope, though. The only order faction that's even more deranged is the Marathi Jugend. The Daughters of Cain are a bunch of racist, sexist, psychopathic, zealotous Nazis under the command of Marathi, the Fuhrer of Cain. After being denied godhood, since everyone was really tired of her shit, genderbend Corforan has gaslit the entire Cainite cult into believing that they can resurrect Cain simply by following her command. This provided her with literal armies of devout followers willing to die for her. Marathi has done a little trolling, however, and by sucking all the generated power from the cold dead heart of Cain, she has not only prevented Cain from actually coming back to life, but even managed to ascend to a form of godhood herself. Marathi's obsession with power knows no bounds, however, and the rap sheet of the murder divas is far too long to cover here. Some highlights, however, include turning every male member into a sex slave after burning away half of their soul, torturing and sacrificing everything with a pulse, exterminating the allied city of Anvogard, and accidentally freeing Slaanesh. She too is popular in the monster.
That one is on the bottom of the list. Freeing Slaanesh at the bottom of the list. I feel like that should be at the top of the list, chat. That seems like really, really, really bad.
Girl community for turning the best members of the cult into mind-controlled Medusa babes. Because of course, you can't have competition in the cheerleader squad. Covens of Blood also hints at an insurrectionist group led by everyone's favorite murder granny. So trouble might be brewing in hell, really. In hell. Probably most sane among them though are the Teclian Weep Lords. Tecla's second attempt at making the Elven race went a little bit better than the first and has resulted in a carbon copy of the Warhammer Fantasy High Elves renamed into the Luminate Realm Lords.
Woo woo.
Being quite satisfied with this creation, Teclis fucked off to binge watch Avatar The Last Airbender.
Sounds
leaving
great.
The newly made elf babies to play on their own. This went as well as you'd expect, and after a couple bruised egos, the Realm of Light got plunged into a cataclysmic war. And once again, this caused another Chaos incursion. As always, the problem was left to Tyrion to fix,
Good
who
job,
led an
guys.
heroic last stand against the Chaos forces until Teclis managed to find a parking spot. Teclis then became the Avatar and forged an alliance between the remaining Luminate and the weird-ass sentient elements of Hyesh. These new allies include massive hammer-wielding cows and Hoodwink from Dota 2. After defeating the demons, the Luminate now spread their copies of The Last Airbender more aggressively than Jehovah Witnesses until all live-action copies are removed from existence. Oh yeah, and they also have re-education camps where critical humans are lobotomized and reintroduced in society under a good dose of mind control.
Oh,
well,
lovely.
You gotta make some sacrifices for the greater good, eh? Then finally there's the story of Teclis' first attempt at making a new elven race, which resulted in a race of vampire merfolk known as the Internet Deepkin. Pretty soon after capturing Slaanesh, the Dynamite Twins managed to extract a big chunk of souls from the soul-thieving bitch and turn them into new elves. They weren't exactly happy with the result, however, as the millennia of rape torture had given them all a severe case of PTSD.
Oh my
Seriously,
gosh.
These guys cringe at the mere thought of physical touch. Teclis then proved himself to be very much pro-choice, as he decided to perform a species-wide postnatal abortion. Unsurprisingly, the internet weren't all too sold on the entire genocide idea, so they stole Teclis' morning after pill and hid in the darkest depths of the ocean. Here the internet discovered that Teclis fucked up his spell so bad that their kids don't even get souls at birth. Making it necessary for them to regularly commit raids on coastal settlements to steal souls in order to prevent their kids from dying. But hey, at least they get cool sea creature pets. Also noteworthy, in order to get their aquatic mounts to fight on land, they
I guess that is a benefit. That's pretty bad though.
Turn the source code off to create water air, allowing their mounts to fly through and breathe in the air. In other words, every raid committed by emo Ariel is an elaborate reenaction of Sharknado. That's the last order faction, so let's move on to the Grand Allegiance of Metal. The main faction of Chaos is the Sims to Darkness coalition, from that of the countless masses that downloaded Diablo Immortal. We're talking season passes, paid login rewards, and weird-ass currencies. These folks have to sit through it all and hope Chaos tosses them some scraps. Jokes aside, in the mortal realms everyone needs a sugar daddy, and the Chaos Gods, who are very much real and sentient in Age of Sigmar, were the best they could find. All of them are on the path, which sounds like a euphemism for serious drug addiction, but instead refers to their deal with Chaos. Basically, the Chaos Gods give them quests, and if they complete them, they get power-ups. Sacrifice 1,000 babies and you get wings. Kill a rival tribe and you all get cool horns. Or throw a spear at a Stormcast and get a hammer in your face. The path is bloody and risky. Not to mention that unless Archeon is involved, there's more infighting going on than in 2020 Fnatic. But in the retardedly grimdark world of Age of Sigmar, there's plenty of people desperate enough to join the Slaves to Darkness. But hey, from an outsider perspective, it's fucking great though. Look at these losers! One of the Chaos Gods trolled them by telling them that they'd get stronger if they started amputating body parts. All of the mother tribes got cool snakes, bird wings, or magic helmets, and these fuckers get to lose their limbs, and nothing else. What a prank. Blood for the Blood God, skulls for the Skull Throne. Khorne is the god of angry bloodshed, and his worshippers, the Blades of Khorne, are very much what you'd expect them to be. Of course, this is not to be confused with Cain, the other god of bloodshed, but I got a video that covers the difference for you right here. The Blades of Khorne are all about grinding that season pass, and their progression is measured in skulls. The more skulls they offer to Khorne, the cooler skins they get, and they might even unlock a brass fisted airstrike if their kill streak gets big enough. Don't expect Khorne to care much about his followers, however, he just likes to watch the battles. So if you start boring him, he will dump you faster than Leonardo DiCaprio dumps his girlfriends. On the other side of the spectrum are the Alpha Legion knockoffs known as the Disciples of Singe. These trolling nerds are the followers of the God of Change, whose plans tend to be more confusing than Black Library's release schedule. Their ranks are made up out of scholars, alchemists, and all sorts of magic-wielding QAnon members, slowly infiltrating society via intricate webs of lies and deceit. So in confusion and unrest until they can use the ensuing madness to cover up their tracks. All the while, Tzeentch's master plan of filling the realms with bird monster girls gets another step closer to reality. Cultists also tend to be followed by cheerful, chaotic minions known as pink horrors. But unlike their yellow counterparts, they split into two smaller ones upon death. What's so great about this, however, is that the pink horrors get so offended at their death that the resulting blue horrors have grumpiness as their one and only defined character trait.
That's kind of cute.
Nurgle, of course, also got his own faction in the Maggotkin of Nurgle. Nurgle is a god of decay with a passion for gardening and advanced bioweaponry. His followers consist out of all those desperate enough to pick up fucking gardening, getting relieved of all pain in the process while also starting to look more and more like a Chernobyl inhabitant. These Reddit users want nothing more than to spread their disgusting ways all over the mortal realms until everything is as repugnant as their bedroom. They also carry a special hatred
I don't
for
like
a
that
streamer known as Aurelia. Long ago, Nurgle had a big crush on her and tried to wife her by showering her with his pestilent donations. Not amused, however, Aurelia called him a filthy simp and banned him from the Aethel Weird server. This is
the fact that he's making a server joke is hilarious. Oh gosh.
It made Nurgle very angry, and he's been trying to DDoS the Garen Discord server ever since. Last and least are the BDSM perverts of Slaanesh. Slaanesh is the god of access and believes her followers should indulge in every dark desire possible. She is still somewhat chained in between realms, but Marathi largely fucked it up. As a result of which, the Hedonites are now led by the twin demigods whose name I can't pronounce. These weirdos are basically...
That's funny.
Hedonites are now led by the twin demigods whose name I can't pronounce. These weirdos are basically every one of the seven sins personified, ranging from Orskillion, the Grease knockoff who wants to try every possible dish in the realms, including various parts of humans, to Sil Wutong, who keeps this big fella around for personal reasons. All tied together by Sigvald, who is still excessively obsessed with the letter S.
Sickly, sinful spectacles stand, shuffle, shamble, and saunter shamelessly in mine scandalized sight. I suggest a solution.
Oh my gosh. You see, I'm sure he could have had a really good speech, but the alliteration is too much. Too much S, chat. If he had just picked, like, it's variety, man. Like... If you were writing poetry, it's different, but man, buddy, it could have been so much better.
Surely such sedition
it gets
sour and succumb to Sigvald.
He keeps going. Oh my gosh.
And sensational servant of Slaanesh.
The final noteworthy member of the GA Chaos are the meth-addicted rats living in the sewers of South Carolina. The Skaven are a bunch of American ratmen, believing in God, guns, capitalism, and most importantly, seeing themselves as by far the most important being to ever grace the world with their presence. These fuckers will stop at nothing to achieve total world domination, even if they have to destroy the realms in the process. This perseverance, combined with a complete lack of safety precautions, has led to quite some impressive feats.
They don't believe in OSHA. They don't believe in the OSHA regulations, chat.
Advanced bioweaponry, magic, bioweapons, demons, fleshcraft, even ninjas. Nothing seems to be outside the realm of possibility for these cunning fuckers. That being said, there's so much infighting within the Skaven race that their plans tend to fall apart faster than the DCEU. With chaos done, let's move over to destruction. When you think about destruction, you think about the greenskins, you know, the frenzied fungal fuckers, the crazy cabbage cunts, or orcs for short. Orcs come in three flavors, namely strong but stupidly stupid, weak but stupidly smart, and diversity higher. All got their own little thing going on, but they all share a love for the two-headed god Gorka Morka. This guy is such a chat that he sometimes splits himself in two, just so he has a sparring partner that can match his scrumping skills.
Okay, that's cool.
Trying to understand the motivation of the orcs is pretty simple. They have a single ambition and go for it with all they have. Just a shame that this usually involves beating and breaking everything in their path, including you, your house, and your grandma. They just like to fuck shit up. Sometimes they also go hobbying with friends, in which case we call that group a WA. What happens in the WA stays in the WA because greenskins tend to go completely nuts during WA time, with the craziness increasing exponentially with the number of participants. A bit more brain cells can be found at the Ogre Maw tribes. Now, as we all know, ogres have layers. The first layer is eating and the other one's hungry. The ogres are constantly foraging for snacks to maintain their beautiful plus-size model bodies. Now seriously, these guys...
This is so cursed. This is so cursed. I hate this. This is horrible. You know, he really means it when he says you're looking like a snack. You know, when ogres look at you and they say that, you know they're telling the truth. Oh my goodness.
Take food really serious. So serious, in fact, that their chests are treated like priests, and eating is seen as a ritual to appease the chunkiest of gods, the Gulping God. I just want to point out that that's actually what he is called. He is called the Gulping God. I did not make that up. A couple of them, known as the Beastclaw Raiders, are followed around by Blizzard, and the endless amount of microtransactions has left them forced to constantly travel in the search for more resources. On the plus side, however, they also found a massive number of predators, which they have started to tame as mounts. Their hierarchy is also pretty simple. If you eat the previous boss, you're in charge. Just make sure you feed your tribe well enough though, unless you want to be found in the menu yourself. Then it's time for the Age of Sigmar equivalent of knights. The Sons of Behemoth consist of big dudes known as Gargons that follow around really big dudes known as Mega Gargons. Basically war dogs and knights proper. These Mega Gargons come in 3 personalities. Kraken Eaters are obsessive hoarders with the same borrow policy as the Blood Ravens. After having stolen everything and everyone they can find, they'll put it in their caves and beat the crap out of anyone who tries to steal it back. Gatebreakers meanwhile are still angry about the entire Sigmar killed your goddaddy scenario and have vowed to tear down every single chalet built by the followers of Sigmar for revenge. The third category, the War Stompers, the War Stompers, yeah, I'm not even gonna explain this one. Finally, the little ones, the Men Crushers, they just follow the big ones around because they got the brain capacity of a cow. Then finally, there is what I honestly consider one of the dopest factions in all of Warhammer, the mushroom-fueled, drug-addicted goblins of the Gloomspite Gids. The various groups that make up the Gids all agree that the teleporting Bat Moon is by far the dankest celestial object and will do whatever it takes to bask in its maddening glow. And with that I don't mean it shines in funny colors or something. No, this thing will literally make mushrooms grow out of your brain and turn your food to maggots.
Chat. I forget what it's called, but there is a mushroom. I think it's in the Amazon rainforest. And it preys off insects because when an insect like an ant touches the mushroom, it like infects them, and it basically does what he said here. I wonder if it's inspired by that. The cordyceps, is that what it is? I couldn't remember the name, but like it grows out of your brain and then it's contagious, so it infects all the other ants and all the other insects that it comes into contact with. It's insane. Like, you're like, nature is scary sometimes. It's cool. The zombie, I think they use it as a basis for Last of Us. I don't know anything about Last of Us. Sorry. But it's cool. It's cool.
If you are a goblin, then it just makes you high as a kite. The Gid's main goal is to make it stick around forever so they can throw a never-ending psychedelics party known as the Everdank. Magic shrooms once again prove themselves excellent bonding material, as the Gloomspite forces are made up of the weirdest shit. Ranging from squigs of all shapes and sizes to Aragog, and from LSD dealing shamans to the Chungus clans. All of them led by Scragrod, an Ash Ketchum type of fella who goes around turning smart people into shrooms to collect in his basement. This gives him access to a personal consultancy service that allows him to best predict the Batmoon's wishes. Also, he has mushrooms growing in his brain. The Gids see this as a blessing, but let's just say they make him creative. Okay, that was destruction, so let's move on to the factions of death. Most well known are probably the spooky boys of the Night Haunt. A little while ago, during the Soul Wars, Nagash did a bit of an oopsie. And once again, his plan to kill every living being in order to raise him from the dead caused a magical explosion of nuclear proportions. This
lovely.
Explosion, the Necroquake, caused every unclaimed soul in the mortal realms to come back as a malevolent spirit. A bit like in Ghostbusters, when the government turns the generator off. Nagash, being the cunning bastard who he is, created a ghost waifu to direct their anger against the living, and at the moment the Night Haunt are still very much preoccupied with trying to genocide the living. Nagash also found a new way to utilize his dark sense of humor, and has been creating a wide variety of hilarious Night Haunt creations, such as brave Sir Robin over here, who killed his family for glory. Nagash stole his voice and gave him to familiars who constantly sing about all of his craven acts. Or Olander, a merciless psychopath who used to smile as she murdered her husbands for power. now forced to feel every negative emotion in all of the mortal realms.
Oh.
No wonder she's so hell-bent on wiping out all the mortals.
Oh my gosh.
Another one of Nagash's crazy creations are the Irritated Resurrected Skeletons, or IRS for short. Nagash was quite impressed by the Sigmarines and decided to make his own version, creating Chad's skeletons goated with the Swows. These boner boys go around the place, conquering and building large empires of bone, and depending on which book you read, these necropolis empires are actually pretty hilarious. In some depictions they even have skeleton farmers that grow tooth corn. What? They don't eat?
Oh.
They can never have enough bones. The main way to get their bones, however, is via taxes. Yep, no one can escape the IRS, not even the citizens of the mortal realms. After having conquered a city, the Ossiarch Bone Reapers will declare a bone tithe that has to be paid every so often.
A bone
Some will
tithe?
in the hand of each born citizen, others will settle for the bones of the deceased. You better meet it though,
What?
because they will come to claim their bones by force if necessary. Oh, and also there's this guy who is a particularly
They will
interesting
take
set
your
of
bones. What the
genitals.
heck?
Not sure what's worse here, being the dick or having the dick. Let's continue. Next up are the mentally challenged Bretonians of the Flesh Eater courts.
Oh my
Thinking
gosh.
outside the box can be pretty useful, but the meat nibblers have done away with the box altogether, seeing themselves as glorious knights of the realm, running down chaos filth and enjoying grand buffets and balls afterwards. In reality, however, they've just butchered an entire village, and their grandiose ball is really a grotesque cannibalistic orgy. The vampire lord Usharan, who got dropped on his head as a child, found all of this rather amusing, and his brood have integrated themselves with these cannibals ever since. Feeling truly at home in these blood-fueled frat houses, the vampires have started using their magics to further the delirium.
This is so
creating
much
some
fun.
Cool ghoul evolutions in the process. Of course, for a vampire there can never be enough, so crusades are regularly launched against the horribly evil cities of Order. Not that this is going particularly well, as they haven't received a model in forever and almost entirely consist out of leftovers from the vampire counts. Recently added are the Soulblight Gravelords, but don't be fooled, these are just the vampire counts of old. They even got some of the same characters in Manfred and Neferata. The vampiric aristocracy ruling over the unlucky mortals with armies of skeletons, zombies, and whatever else pops up around Halloween. The curse, generally speaking, makes you a bit of a dick, so benevolent rulers such as Vlad and Isabella from Warhammer Fantasy are rare. Most instead rule their cattle with an iron fist and keep them just alive enough to provide an endless supply of party snacks. One exception are the Knights of the Castlite dynasty. A while ago, Prince Mordrai bought a teleporting castle from Castlevania and invented the drive-thru method. Basically, they teleport a castle somewhere and their army of knights rushes out to kill everything in their path, getting food and entertainment without the need for boring farming politics.
A different version of I was gonna say Netflix and chill, but that's not quite right. But you know, it's like eating your dinner while you watch like a show on YouTube. It's like that. You're like, it's dinner and a show.
Another notable mention is Lauka Vai, who leads the dynasty of Bat Centaurs.
So wait, her hips are a man's shoulders. Well, that's bizarre.
Hate them or love them, these vampires are truly built different. Then finally there's the Beastmen, who I left till the end, because if you want to play Beastmen, you better get used to waiting. Seriously, I can't even remember the last time I saw these guys get a model, let alone the last time they were even close to relevant. Regardless, these furry look-alike goat fuckers have one simple goal in life, and that is to ruin everyone else's. The moment the first Beastman saw someone putting a stone on another stone, the overwhelming display of intellect created such a massive wave of resentment that all the furries decided that that shit must be banned. A crusade upon any form of construction or organization was declared soon afterwards, and the Beasts of Chaos have been pursuing this goal ever since. Similar to conventional animals, these satanic goats live in herds of varying sizes and form a simple hierarchy of might makes right. Generally speaking, they consider the chaos gods kinda cringe, but some base herds decided to give worship a try. This resulted in the cursed versions of Empoleon and Kingler you see over here. Finally, I'd like to point out that the main reason for the all-herd supremacy over all the smaller beastmen herds is the fact that they have the most sex. Yes, I did not make that up, that is straight from the second...
Oh. That's horrible. I did not want to understand that. Oh, shoot. Oh, no. Hi, Dandelion Days. Thank you for the raid. Thank you. Oh, my. You came in at a very bad time. Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. My name's Aurelia. I'm a Warhammer Vtuber. You heard that, didn't you? I am learning about Warhammer Fantasy today. I am normally, doing Warhammer 40k content But today we're doing fantasy, and I picked this video on a whim. And this is Age of Sigmar stuff, and I had no idea he was gonna say this. Oh my gosh. Dandelion Days. I'm so glad you love Warhammer Fantasy. What's your favorite faction? I watched another video. It was like an hour long, and it was like beginner like lore, talks about all the races. And can I get off this screen? I want to be off this screen. I don't want to be here. This is perfect. This is fine. That's fine. I like the High Elves. I didn't know much about them, but I found out that they could use dragons as mounts, and I love it. Bretonia, you love the cavalry. They're really cool too. It was a really good video. I need to put it in. I think it's in the description on the YouTube side of things. But yeah. So Total War Warhammer. That's here. I'll pull up the video. Did I save it? I don't need to hear anything else. It's fine. This is the video, Beginner's Lore Overview Guide to all the races in Total War Warhammer. So that's where I heard all the stuff from. And it seems interesting. So I'll probably play it eventually. And then I originally advertised that I was going to do Age of Sigmar. But then I realized Warhammer Fantasy and Age of Sigmar are two different things. But I'm enjoying it. I wasn't sure how it was going to go, but yeah, it'll be good. And then someone asked if we could watch, let's see, we have some other cinematic trailers. The Curse of the Vampire Coast. So we were going to watch that next. So thank you for rating. What were you up to today, by the way? Stop. What were you up to today for your stream? I hope you guys had fun. I'd love to know what you were up to. Did I miss it? I might have. Oh my gosh, I didn't see all the raid messages until like it was too late. Voice acting, Ace Attorney with friends. Oh, that sounds fun. I want to learn how to voice act. I can do like an impression for like a couple lines of a character, but not really anything crazy. It was hot garbage, but the models were great. I'm glad you had fun then. Sometimes it's the most fun when it's like just hot garbage. My chat can my chat can attest to that on occasion. So yeah, so thank you for the raid. We'll watch this. This is apparently the music here is really good. That's what I've been told. So we're gonna check this out. I'll make sure my volume is good for this. I don't want it to be too loud. Oh, those undead hermit crabs. Oh, I don't like that lope.
Believe us. The tales we could tell.
What is that?
Though, truth be told, it started very poorly.
He's just talking to the dead guy. Oh boy. Oh, I like this.
I was one, but now we are many.
Ooh.
We all agree on one thing. To sail the coast. Hunt down those lizard trinkets. And we will find them.
Ooh. Oh my gosh. I hate that. You're toast, buddy. Honestly, that probably was the best way to go. That was gonna be the best way to go. Dealing with the monsters or just getting blasted. I would prefer to just get blasted like that. I did watch these videos. I did watch a bunch of the trailers previously, but this is one of the ones I didn't watch. Very strong faction in game, but weird they got a spot when they didn't add naval combat. Yeah, I don't know enough about the game. I haven't downloaded it yet, but I will eventually. Yeah, I would prefer, the gun is a quick death. I would prefer that over getting eaten alive. Preference though, personal preference.
We will put ourselves back together.
Oh.
Fortune favors the infamous.
Oh, okay. Oh, I like that cannon. A crab. Oh. He just had a little snack, chat. Just a little snack. Oh, it's a big boy. Oh, that was pretty cool. Vampire Coast is a very small niche faction. In the game, they had to make up a lord for them and then converted someone who actively fought against them in lore into a lord. Okay. Well, that was good. Where's my other Onyx? Is there where's the playlist that you were saying you had earlier? Cuz I think that might be good to watch. I just don't know where it is. I have a couple different like lists for reaction videos, and I since I don't know enough about like fantasy, one of my mods who loves fantasy, Total War and all of that has compiled stuff for me. So we'll watch some of that stuff too. Cuz I'm enjoying it. I didn't think like I wasn't under the assumption like, oh, I'm gonna hate it, so I never like watched it. It's just like I've been really into the sci-fi side of Warhammer 40k. Like I could talk about that for a while because I love it. I love it so much. Oh, it's pinned here. Let's get it. This playlist. This one. This looks like no. This is one I've already done. Sorry, chat. These are other trailers I have. Sorry, chat. 1 second. I have more stuff that we'll watch, but I just I had some. Where did they go? No, I don't think I have. All right, well, let's look stuff up. Let's look up some good stuff. Warhammer Fantasy. Because I kind of like Warhammer Fantasy so far, but I don't know enough about Age of Sigmar to be super into it yet, but I seem to like it. Let's see. What is a good one? Dandelion, do you have any recommendations? You said, what did you say? You said, oh my gosh, Dogs of War. I don't know who the Dogs of War. Let's look at that. Because I don't know anything about them. I had it in all caps. What's a good video? I want to see some minis. Actually, I think it might be a good idea to look at some minis. Warhammer Fantasy minis. I want to see what people have made. Thank you, Scion of the Emperor, for the super chat. Whenever you do get into Warhammer 3, you should stream it with Sotek. He's done some co-op streams with Zero from Legit Weebs before as well. I'll have to check it out. Like, obviously, I don't want to like force a collab on someone and be like, oh yes, we'll totally collab when you know, that's a conversation I need to have first. But that would be really, really cool. So, I don't even know where to start to like look at all these videos. So, ooh, there's this. Okay. So I have a link now. This will be good. This is a guy. He's the Lord of Dragons, and I'm all about that.
Welcome to a new...
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Onyx, for sending this to me. I appreciate it. This will be good. Yes. Lord of Dragons. I'm ready.
Guide to Prince Imric. This is Imric, Lord of Dragons, Crown Prince of Calidor, whose intense relationship with dragons will have you looking up the other meaning of the word Dracophile. A free legendary lord for Total War Warhammer 2, Imric combines blistering arrogance with a blazing fast lance and a literal fire-breathing dragon. But you'll need to wait a bit before you can mount that magical sky lizard in-game. Instead, you'll start as one of the finest warriors in Ulthuan, basically Elflantis, ready to crush chaos from atop your noble steed from the get-go, because only peasants walk. Wielding a lance forged from an actual fallen star, Imric charges in faster, harder, and deeper than any other high elf.
Why? What's with the innuendos so fast into this video? We're 42 seconds in, and I think I've heard 3 or 4 separate innuendos. What is happening? Oh, gosh. Oh my. Yes. Welcome, Raiders, to where we apparently watch semi-questionable videos. I will warn, Cody is a bit like that. Thank you, Onyx. Your warning is, you know, of the perfect timing.
Leaving anyone lucky enough to take his shaft, so hot and bothered that it'll...
What is happening? This is not my normal content. What is happening? Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Stop. Stop. Oh my gosh. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna you're panicking. At this point, we're committed. We're gonna do it.
It'll make a UTI seem mild in comparison. As the last in a long line of dragon princes, Imric sees it as his responsibility to rouse the remaining dragons from their slumber and light a fire under his fellow knights. As it turns out, a lifespan of several thousand years has the same impact on productivity as 2 months of home quarantine. It starts out all early morning yoga and epic poetry, but soon even changing your underwear becomes too great a quest to undertake. The dragon princes were once the noblest and proudest Knights of Calidor. These high elves would call out, and enough dragons would appear to impress even the Persian army. The dragon princes would then mount up and ride into battle atop these scaly flamethrowers. They would call upon their god Vol to bless their armies with flaming attacks and help their dragons puff harder than Michael Phelps, leaving the enemy grumbling that smoke circle etiquette does not apply to Olympic athletes, or to invoke the name of Eldrazor, who granted the lords and nobles of Calidor experience and expertise in battle, though at the cost of relations with other high elves. Not that the dragon-thirsty Calidorians cared, which might go on to explain what happened next, as in Calidor, the skies no longer ring with the cries of dragons. Instead, it's a silent realm, with only the echo of elven footsteps in empty ancient halls. The dragons now sleep in the mountains, refusing to wake even for the smell of fresh pancakes and bacon. So now, these same dragon princes ride into battle atop horses that have had their rides pimped by exhibit, caparisoned in armor forged to look like a dragon if you tilt your head to the side and squint really hard. Because who wants to go out and find a dragon anymore? It's dirty in the outside world, and I hear ethnic food gives you the runs. So
I would work so hard.
Stay at home and
I would work so hard if I could ride a dragon into battle. I'd be like, let's get that dragon. Let's do it.
Ever live up to their potential or the expectations set by their ancestors, which seems to be a common theme among dragon princes. Imric, descendant of the first dragon tamer, is one of the few who can still wake the dragons in times of need, and then only a handful, as Imric alone still fights in the traditional manner of his gloriously noble house. During the Great Chaos Incursion, Imric fought to the last elf to keep the slumbering dragons safe, and as he lay dying on the mountainside, a single dragon, Menaithnir, Eisenhorn woke to his cries
that's a
for
cool
help,
name.
deeming this hero of his people the first worthy champion in a millennia. And it was his new dragon life-bonded buddy, Menaithnir, that told Imric the truth, that your average high elf is too narrow-minded and lazy to summon a dragon the right way anymore, and only someone with Imric's cojones could use the true dragon song, an ancient tune that draws on the singer's chutzpah to wake even more dragons. And with this knowledge, Imric crafted a special instrument, but no elf wanted to believe it even existed. And when the truth finally dawned, it dawned in fire, and he blows the dragon horn. I love that CA made it so there's an elf now who actually toots his own horn. And that's where your Imric campaign starts, with an elf who's set out from his homeland in search of his birthright, followed by an army fed entirely on braggadocio and smug. Luckily, he's not alone in his quest, as you'll begin each campaign with a contingent of Dragon Prince cavalry, a sun dragon, a rather friendly fire mage, and a bodyguard of white lions of Trace. Not the awesome furry ones from the DLC, but the ones that murder them and then wear their skulls. And since nobody understands that riding a high-flying dragon would leave you frozen and oxygen deficient, you'll find no shortage of dragon princes looking to mount a sky snake at your expense. So dragon princes and dragons both recruit one turn faster for Imric. And since these both require more maintenance than an aging Alfa Romeo, Imric also comes with a 25% reduction in their upkeep, since you don't want to begin turn 2 bankrupt and slinking back home to your parents' basement for the third time. Imric's unique red skill line doubles down on this elf's commitment to princely superiority, focusing on unlocking noble heroes, buffing dragon princes, and ensuring that any dragons you do summon will be second only to Jon Snow's epic abs, because Rule 63 High Elf Khaleesi doesn't have time for any bourgeois belly draggers. And even though Imric can recruit regular dragons, this is Prince Imric of Caledor, not Baron, and certainly not Marquis, so he only wants to have super dragons. Having seen a map with the words, "Here there be dragons" at some point, Imric is set out to dominate Balgag and mount only the best scaly ladies in his path, which makes your goal in Imric's campaign to be the very best, like no one ever was. Just watch out for ice-type Pokemon. Every 10 levels, a legendary dragon will be sighted near Imric. Stepping into this marker allows you to parlay with these mythic beasts of destruction. And since Imric spent a millennia learning to speak Dova, they have a surprising amount to gab about. You can even consult the dragon for a temporary buff to your army, bargain with him to increase your elven influence, or dragon rend your favorite flying iguana and tell him to soar his fat ass down here for a battle challenge, as that's the button that lets you recruit the dragon afterwards and then keep them, as well as giving you a permanent trait boost and a badass item. Though you'll first have to fight these scaly gold diggers and their thematic late game armies, who aren't about to roll over for the first wandering blue blood they come across. Though you should know that attacking every dragon you come across is like the rhythm method. It seems like a good idea at the time, but you'll be paying for it the rest of your life.
Yeah, that sounds like a really bad idea.
And soon enough, you'll have so many dragons to choose from, the game looks more like Dragon Tinder. Yes, yes, no, yes.
No, shameful, he passed on Toothless. What the heck is wrong? Don't pass on Toothless. Stop, 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 please, no.
Or at least that's how Imric sees it, as he believes every dragon is just thirsting to be mounted by his princely body. In a world where high elves are notorious for their vanity and hubris, Imric is their Val Kilmer, who combines the fighting abilities of Mad Mardigan, the swagger of Doc Holliday, and the whatever Iceman does here, to become the most daring and electric fighter in Uthwan. This has also left Imric with a reputation as hard to work with, leaving room for those snooty high elf twins Tyrion and Teclis to steal your Oscar. I mean, become Phoenix King. So what's an overpuffed method dragon rider to do but dust Ulthuan from his high-flying feet and go out and seek a world of adventure? In the Mortal Empires, you'll begin on the far side of the world in the Plain of Bones, the ancient graveyard of dragons, which is now overrun by Grimgor, Malice Darkblade, and Deathmaster Snikch, all of whom would love to take Imric's ego down by a few notches. But being surrounded by burly men men who want to shank him is just how Imric likes it, as there's no glory in defeating second-tier losers.
Oh my gosh.
Once you mop up these jealous wannabes, you can reignite the War of the Beard and work your way up the mountains one dwarf hole at a time, as Imric prefers to settle in mountainous terrain, because, I mean, where else would you expect to find dragons? Imric's Vortex campaign has him joining the race to stabilize its wild energies, as his forefather was the one who actually created the Vortex to begin with, and Imric is duty-bound to uphold his work. So you'll begin your Vortex campaign deep in the shifting sands of the southern deserts, trying desperately to remember what water tasted like. Though thankfully, a lifetime spent around fire-breathing behemoths has left Imric immune to these pseudo-Saharan winds, and his army takes no attrition damage while they're in the desert, which is bad news if you're a Tomb King, as yet another flaming lord is about to play a Rush-inspired drum solo on your bandaged backside. Imric's Ashen Fields ability makes any enemy 20% weaker to fire damage, and his Blazing Lance turns all his attacks into Molotov cocktails, because anytime you throw one, boom, right away you have a different problem. In this case, the problem is keeping your enemy alive long enough to use any of your other sweet dragon abilities. As these ruffians thank you for burning them to majestic cinders, you'll gain influence over court politics back on Ulthuan, but as these are the same high horse elves that sneered at you before, you're far better off saving that influence for the moment you complete your second quest chapter, as you can spend the influence to confederate your home of Calador and return home a champion to retake your rightful place in the Phoenix Court. Because Imric's campaign isn't about working alongside pompous, arrogant, dagger-eared dandies. It's about showing them who should be the fop-in-chief of the Ruffled Isles. So don't expect to make any friends on your way to the Gilded Throne. A united Ulthuan may be necessary for ultimate victory over chaos, but in the official lore, Imric couldn't even convince the elves to pull their heads out of each other's asses long enough to fight back. And when they asked to use the dragons he had spent so long collecting, he told Tyrion to go sit on the Sword of Cain and spin, threw a bunch of tea in the harbor, and then declared Calador a new and independent nation. And when the final battle of Ulthuan came, it was Imric and his elvish Texans who shattered the power-mad Tyrion's armor. Imric who paved the way to victory, and Imric who was the last elf standing when the field was littered with the dead and dying. Because in the end times, Imric was Walter from The Big Lebowski. He wasn't wrong, he was just an asshole. And the elves needed someone to roundhouse kick them back into the fray. Someone with an unstoppable wildfire flame in their heart, who wasn't afraid to burn enemies to ash as far as the eyes can see. Someone who hated the ending of Game of Thrones even more than you did. So saddle up your dragon and take to the skies, because Prince Imric of Calador does not waste time on the unworthy. So raise the dragon banner and be ready to soak the world in fire. The visual.
Cool. Not bad. I could have gone without some of the innuendos, but honestly, it was insightful. I found it useful. In any case, chat, I think that's all I have for today. Thank you for all the raiders, if there are still any of you left. Thank you for joining us today, and I'm happy. I learned a lot about Warhammer Fantasy and Age of Sigmar. It looks like there's more recommendations for things that I should check out, and I will do that. Have I been hydrating and stretching? Yes, don't worry. I've been hydrating throughout the stream, stretching not so much. Sanguinius painting stream 1, hopefully soon. I want to go get a model. As for like just little announcements and stuff, I posted about it, but no stream tomorrow. I had some stuff come up, so no stream tomorrow, but I do have a stream on Saturday. It's a kind of Ask Me Anything stream, so we'll just be hanging out, chatting, maybe looking at some memes, and I hope to see you all there. It'll be 8 a.m., a lot earlier this time, 8 a.m. Pacific time, so if you can make it, great. If you can't, then I will see you after I get back from my vacation, so thank you everyone for coming. I really enjoyed learning about Warhammer Fantasy, and I definitely want to know more after today. It was a lot to go through, but it seems pretty interesting, and I'm willing to take a look at it and learn some more stuff. So we'll watch more videos, we'll learn more lore, and I think it'll be tons of fun. Yeah. So thank you everyone. I hope you all have a great evening, and I will see you on Saturday. All right. Bye, everyone.